10 minutes, 10 whole minutes. We just talked and there was no recording. But we are here. Yes, I'm exposing myself. I'm in a Chiefs shirt. Guys, I'm an avid collector of sports shirts. Doesn't mean I'm not still a Steelers fan. But with that being said, kia ora and welcome back.
We are speed running this intro because we've already done it. We've already talked about half of the first topic, all because I forgot to press the start button.
Hey, it happens to the greats, man.
It does.
happens to the
I'm
greats.
surprised it only took 29 episodes.
Yes, that's a good point.
To get to this point where one of us forgot to do something to respect.
But it's done.
But yeah, and unfortunately, it wasn't like, oh, we forgot to roll the video or the audio because we record both at the same time. It's both. So no backup, which is fine.
So to reset, kia ora, welcome to the CouchSide Sports Report, hosted by the CouchSide Network. Myself, Dylan. This is Simon. And of course, before we start, go follow us on TikTok and Instagram at couchside.network and go and like, subscribe, follow, watch all these podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. And I'm going to get into our first topic again.
Yep, we're going to get into it.
Which is the NRL finals. And if you don't know much about the NRL, about the rugby league, I will explain how it works. So you've got qualifying finals, which is between 1 verse 4 and 2 verse 3. The winner goes directly to what they call the prelim finals, and the losers go to the semi-finals. The prelim final, let's be real, it's kind of a semi-final anyway.
It really is.
And then you've got the elimination finals, which is between 5 and 8 and 6 and 7. The winner goes to the semi-finals. The loser is gone.
They're out of here.
So we're going to talk about the qualifying finals first, which were the first and last games of the weekend. The first one, Storm, Bulldogs. Storm 2, Bulldogs 3 seed. The Storm do win 26-18 in a really entertaining match, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
But speaking of entertaining, this last qualifying final, Raiders won, Broncos 4 seed, but the 4 seed Broncos pull it out 94th minute. Was it penalties? Is that what they call the field goal? Penalty goal?
It's just a field goal.
Field goal by Ben Hunt of the Broncos to win them the game 29-28. This had a lot of things. Reece Walsh went off, pulled the bird at the crowd, came back out and killed everybody. Yeah. So don't piss off Reece Walsh.
No.
But yeah, man, Raiders still a quality side. They're going to play in the semi-finals. The Broncos and Storm get the bye. The Bulldogs are also in the semi-finals.
It was a good showing from I think all 4 teams in the qualifying finals. Like the Bulldogs still showed that they can hang with the Storm.
Yeah,
they were missing players. I know there was no Bronson Cherry and there was no Marcelo Montoya.
Yeah.
Jacob Carraz was only just coming back from injury, so good for them. And then in the Raiders-Broncos game, I don't think it's super surprising that the Broncos took the win here, and it's not to discredit the Raiders. They've been great all year, but we know how good the Broncos could be on their day when you have guys like Reece Walsh and Katoni Staggs and Ben Hunt and Payne Haas, Paddy Carrigan.
Quality side.
It's a lot of quality.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Raiders do too, but the absolute sensational game of rugby there.
Yeah.
Like the amount of fake finishes. The Broncos thought they'd won it. The Raiders thought they'd won it. The Broncos did end up winning it. Very entertaining, and both those Bulldogs and those Raiders teams will be playing for their lives on the weekend.
Facts. And speaking of the Raiders, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Rookie of the Year nominations came out.
I know they did for, I think, the Rugby League Players Association.
So they went for the Rugby League Players Association.
But they announced their winner, and it was not a Raider.
No, it was not a Raider. But who was the Raider that was on there?
Oh.
Because he's had an impressive season all year. I think he's a winger.
I'm not sure.
I know his last name starts with a T. Raiders fans are going to come at me for this one.
You're not thinking of Tomoko, are you?
Yes.
He's not a rookie.
Oh, really? Because they put him on the Rookie of the Year things.
Maybe it wasn't rookie. Maybe it was a different award.
No, it's definitely rookie because Leka Halasima was up for it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was him. I'm pretty sure he's a rookie.
I don't think he's a rookie. He's played for the Kiwis last year, I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I'm going to check this out later anyway.
I can comfortably tell you he's not a rookie.
But speaking of, there was somebody from the Raiders, I can't remember what their name was, but they had an awesome year. But speaking of those nominations, Leka Halasima was there. Yep. He played for the Warriors. They were in an elimination final against the Panthers, which we both pretty much watched the first half of. And then there was another game after that we're talking about later. But The Warriors, unfortunately, they went down 24-8 to the Panthers. A tough game, man.
I mean, it's a rough end to the season, but the Panthers, despite the fact they went from last, were last at one stage of the year and ended up finishing in 7th.
Yeah.
It kind of shows that they still have that mentality of a four-peat team. So
and to be fair, they are a four-peat team for a reason.
oh yeah, they still
And they showed
have
it.
the likes of Cleary and the likes of Yeo and the likes of everyone on that team. Brian To'o and Dylan Edwards and all the other guys on that side. And former Te Two Intermediate old boy Isaiah Papali'i tore it up
he
for
did.
the Panthers.
He was awesome.
He was just ultra impact. The Warriors, they were in it at first, and then the game kind of got away from them. It's not the best way to end the season, obviously, on a loss, but they'll be happy that with all the injury issues they had, not just the guys who missed the majority of the season in one bulk, but the guys who missed parts of the season and came back and possibly got injured again, they're able to still finish in 6th. They're still able to get in that position where they were in the playoffs at home. And I do got to respect that. And we know there are going to be some changes to the Warriors next year.
Yeah.
There are going to be guys leaving. It's reported that Cam Pereira from Gold Coast will be joining, which is a massive signing. It does beg the question, is it for Dallin, is it for Roger? So
you would. I hate saying it. You would think after this year it's probably Dallin, because I think Roger was underratedly one of the best Warriors players.
But the problem with Roger is that he reportedly has a contract up from that R360 competition, which is a kind of a rebel rugby union comp being organised overseas.
It'll be interesting to see where that goes.
But he was being offered quite a big bag, so it would not surprise me if he took it, and I wouldn't blame him, because he wouldn't be able to get that money, I think, at most union clubs around the world. But
also, just before we get on to the next elimination final, just to get my facts right, I did search up the nominees for the RLPA Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
The winner was Mark Nawangatuasi.
I did know that.
Nawangatuasi, sorry, didn't get that right there. Of course, who played for the Wallabies and then moved over to the Roosters, playing rugby league. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wins that. Is it,
I think he has.
Is there a Dally M Rookie of the Year?
I assume there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other nominees were his teammate, Robert Toya.
Yep.
We had, of course, our guy, Leka Halasima.
Yep.
You had Parramatta Eels fullback, Isaiah Iongi.
Yep.
I think that's his name.
Iongi.
And then the Canberra Raiders guy was not Timoko. It was Savilio Tamale.
Right.
That's the guy. I knew his last name started with T, and he was awesome.
And you got that right.
He was awesome this year.
The other elimination final, including those Roosters, was the Sharks versus the Roosters at Shark Park.
Yes.
The Sharks getting the win 20-10.
My uncle's I'm gonna hear it from my uncle.
Oh,
for this
you
one,
are.
mate.
But
I'm gonna hear it.
the Roosters had plenty of chances to actually get back into that game, but unfortunately they just couldn't convert on them. Mark tried his very best. It clearly feels like at times it's almost a one-man team, even if you've got guys like Teddy and Tupou and all of the halves they seem to tune for all the time, and everyone else, and like Robert Toya and the like. But the Sharks, too much class on the end. You got guys like Cherry Evans. You've got guys.
You got Hines.
You got Nico Hines. You've got no, sorry. Why did I say Cherry Evans? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's Manly, mate.
I meant Nico Hines.
Yes.
I got the wrong coastal Sydney halfback. You got Anafanoa Blake on the Sharks, obviously. You've got Talakai on this day. He's great. And I'm trying to think if they're... Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Yeah.
He's very, very good on his day. So
that is a quality side, I can't lie.
But the Sharks will have a very tough task in the first semi-final this Saturday at 9:50 p.m. They are away to the Canberra Raiders. They'll be hunting for revenge. They'll want to be going shark hunting. So
they'll be looking to raid the Raiders.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this game could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised.
It could be a close game.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Sharks took it. But again, the Raiders have a lot of minor premiers for a reason. And they might be a bit goosed after going to, I think, 2 golden points, 3 golden points.
True.
And then the second semi-final is probably going to be one of the biggest games of the year on Sunday at 6:05 p.m. afternoon game in Australia. The Bulldogs take on the Panthers. This game as well could possibly go either way. The Bulldogs could pull it out of the bag.
Yeah.
The Panthers could dominate them. We don't know. But all we know is that if both the Raiders and the Bulldogs win, I think they have to face different teams in the preliminary finals to what they did in the qualifying finals, because that's what happened to the Warriors last time they made it to the prelims.
Yes.
So you would instead see the Raiders away to the Storm and the Bulldogs away to the... Wait. I know, because to the Broncos, or would they?
So you'd see the so if the Raiders and Bulldogs won, you'd have the Bulldogs away to the Broncos, and
Yes.
you'd have the Raiders away to the Storm.
Oh no, would the Bulldogs host the Broncos because they were a high seed, or does that not matter?
Anyway, that's probably
It will be
that's what the
It'll be
games will
Bulldogs Broncos. It'll be Raiders Storm.
Yes.
Which, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If the Panthers qualify, if the Sharks qualify, it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
I think how it works, because if the Raiders beat the Sharks, actually we have no clue. We'll be able to tell you next week when the results happen.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to make a bold prediction here.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a bold prediction. I think the Panthers are beating the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't think that's a stupid prediction. I think the Bulldogs get some of their players who've been injured back, then maybe they'd have more of a chance. But yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting a Storm Panthers final.
I can't. I mean, yes, I'm a Warriors fan. We're out. I can't go against the Panthers, man.
No.
Not until they lose one of these games.
Yeah,
because they've won 4 years in a row. I'm not going against them.
I have a feeling we might see a Storm Panthers final again, and this time I'd maybe. Although I think Jerome Hughes is out for the entirety of the finals, and I think Pappenhausen might be as well.
Also, if we did that, that was my prediction at the start of the season for the final.
Yeah.
I predicted the Storm to win.
I have no idea who I predicted. I think I said this. Did I say the Storm as well?
Well, let's just say this. Can we agree now, if it's a Storm Panthers final, the Storm win?
I don't know. We might see a 5P.
Make a decision,
we
man.
might see. I think if the Storm are missing the big players they're currently missing,
you think Panthers go?
I think the Panthers get a 5P, which I hate to say it, but also if they face the Broncos, could be a different story. But I don't know. They'd maybe face them in the next round.
We'll
Who
see.
knows?
We'll see what happens. But like you said, semi-final 1, Raiders versus Sharks, Saturday at 9:50 New Zealand time, and the second semi-final is on Sunday 6:05 New Zealand time. The Bulldogs versus the Panthers. On to the NRLW, the women's NRL, which had its last round. For the year, but you have. I'm gonna get some insider info here. Started the prep sheet. I started the prep sheet.
I mean, this is mostly all your information.
Yeah, but you have summed up what I wrote down, how their finals work perfectly. Because when I wrote this down, it was quite confusing.
It was quite hard to decipher, but I got it. But don't worry, in the NRLW, it's a 12-team comp. The top 6 do make finals.
Yes,
the top 2 directly qualify to their semi-finals. So in the NRLW, they call them semis, not prelims. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Unless I've got that wrong. But 3rd to 6th play in next week's elimination playoffs. 3rd will play 6th, 4th will play 5th.
Yeah.
The Warriors are already out of playoff contention, so don't get your hopes up. But it's been a very good season for the Warriors, and we'll talk about that why very shortly.
Yes, sir.
Week started off, the Roosters getting a big win over the Sharks, 40-10. They finish undefeated on top of the table.
Tough.
The Sharks do claim 5th, so they do make the elimination playoffs. The Eels thumped the Bulldogs 46-14, but it wasn't enough for the Eels as they finished 7th. The Bulldogs were in 9th. The Broncos, huge win over the Cowboys, 50-4. The Broncos finished 2nd, and the Cowboys, like the amount of points they scored, finished 4th. The Titans, a narrow 1-point win over the Raiders, 17-16. Lets them finish in 6th ahead of the Raiders, who finished 11th. And then the Warriors to finish the year, and I can happily say that the Warriors didn't, in my opinion, get blown out at all this season.
No.
Which was what I said, just don't get blown out, even if you don't make playoffs. I think it's a success.
Coming back after 6 years, that's a success, man.
It's
Absolutely.
great. They blew out the Tigers, who finished dead last in 12th, 44-6 away from home. The Warriors taking out 8th place at the end of the year.
Also,
not bad at all.
Also, that low TT hit.
Yeah.
Oof.
There's some units on that Warriors team, and there's some.
Hopefully, they keep it together.
I think there's a pretty decent possibility that most of the team sticks together.
Yeah.
Because I think they would have built a pretty good culture, and they want to run it back with some more players, being able to add some more players because
I hope so.
were hit by injury and other reasons to lose players this year. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I hope so.
they are able to keep that core. And then in the final regular season game, the Knights got a 30-22 win over the Dragons, meaning the Knights finished in 3rd, New Dragons finishing in 10th. So if I do the math correctly, we will see the Knights taking on the Titans, and we will see the Cowboys taking on the Sharks, with the Roosters and Broncos automatically qualifying for the next round
Hold
after
on.
that.
No, because what about the Titans?
What about the Titans?
Did you say the Titans?
The
'Cause they're
Knights.
sixth.
The Knights versing the Titans.
Oh, okay, you did say that.
Knights
Look
versing
at
the
me
Titans.
being a dummy.
And
Everybody's listening to that now going, Dylan, you
The Cowboys
stupid
versing
fool.
Sharks. No, I might have mispronounced myself, but we can move on from
Yes, we can.
one women's sporting code to another.
Yes, sir.
We got the Black Ferns at the Women's World Cup in a game I watched. Started at midnight, wasn't too bad. Did finish at about 2, but I wasn't even tired
It's better than the other ones. The
I know,
other games
better
they've
than the
had.
4 a.m.
For New
starts.
Zealand time.
for New Zealand time at least. But the Black Ferns took on South Africa at Sandy Park in Exeter, and this first half took everyone by shock. The South Africans started hot in our press.
Yeah.
We conceded quite a lot of penalties to start the game, just simple errors. South Africa spent a lot of time in our possession. Took a while, but were able to get tries on the board, including one right at the end of the half to make it finish 10-all. We did have some good moments there, as you'd expect, but the second half is where, thankfully, it picked up. We had, the brilliance you'd expect from a lot of the players on those teams, like your Stacey Walkers, your Braxton Sorensen McGee's,
So
your Demants, your who's the fullback?
Renee Holmes.
Renee Holmes and Letienga off the bench.
Yeah.
She's sensational.
Yeah, man.
Off the bench. You have Faikolo off the bench,
Yeah.
doing brilliantly. And also the forward work as well. I think
Georgia Miller's a stud.
Georgia Miller.
Kuiper Olsen Baker is
Baker
awesome at number 8.
And it was a great performance in that second half. But shout out to that South African team. They, I think, made everyone surprised. I don't think they were expecting the game to be that close for that long.
Yeah.
Their scrum full of absolute units who were great. Just awesome team to watch. And I can't believe they named a 7-1 split on the bench.
They did.
And
not only did they name a 7-1 split, they threw their halfback up at a line out.
Yeah.
Classic South Africa.
Yeah, and they had everyone in a line out. I remember watching like, why is the halfback going into this? But no, it was awesome for them, and there's good videos of them in the tunnel before they're walking out, just singing, cheering. But definitely,
it seems like such an awesome vibe over there. It's selling out. This crowd's selling out.
Oh, they're selling out. I think most big games.
It's putting women's rugby out there, and I love it.
It's
awesome.
great, and you can tell that the community's there, and I see getting into it, and also international communities. Like I know the Canadians are pretty into it because obviously their team's quite good.
Very good.
And speaking of that Canadian team, the Black Ferns will face them this Saturday at 6 a.m. More reasonable time for viewers here in New Zealand. Canada are a very good team. They've beaten us recently. And
they drew with us recently.
Sorry, they drew with us, but I think they have beaten us recently as well.
Yes, they have.
They're a very good team, and all I can say is that the Black Ferns at a World Cup, sometimes you probably don't want to bet against them, but it might be that time where we are matched by a team which is in England, but we'll have to wait and see on Saturday because that Canadian team is good, and even if we do beat Canada, we've got there'll be a very scary foe in the final in the form of this current England team.
So we'll talk about the rest of the Women's World Cup later on, but just know the top 4 world ranked seeds made the semi-final.
Yeah, and
one, 2, 3, and 4 all made it.
Only one from the Southern Hemisphere. Come on, the Black Ferns.
Come on.
Do it for us.
Before we move on from that, just want to make 2 quick shout-outs. First of all, the dance circle that the South Africans and the Black Ferns did after the game was freaking awesome. That's what freaking sport is all about, and it's so awesome to see, the fact that, yes, you can compete, and you can compete healthily, but afterwards, you know what it's really about.
Exactly.
That's the awesome part of that. And then second, I know she's awesome, but big shout out to Georgia Miller. There is a reason why I'm saying this. My dad's probably watching this right now. My dad is quite a stoic, I would say, traditionalist rugby fan. Georgia Miller has him saying that she is going to revolutionise the flanker position.
Yeah.
And that is a miracle for my dad to say. We're talking about a guy that at one point in time said Adi Savia should be coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the type of guy we're talking
character development exists.
about. Character
But
development.
I fully agree with him. You watch Georgia Miller play, and
She's
you're
tough.
like, shit. How's she done that? How's she doing
Facts.
that?
Say the same
How's
with
that working?
Braxton too. Braxton Sorensen
Yeah,
McGee.
or so close to scoring a third hat trick of the competition. Scored twice against South Africa. Already had 2 hat tricks in previous games.
Oh,
A bit crazy.
she's
But
tough.
we can move over from women's rugby to men's rugby, and NPC is still well and truly on here
Yes, sir.
in this beautiful country we call home.
Yes, sir.
Some interesting results. Northland big win over Wellington, 43-26. Followed up, North Harbour so close to getting their first win of the year, losing 29-28 away to Waikato. Bay of Plenty
Smart team.
narrowly go down at home, 21-24 to Hawke's Bay. Otago get a narrow win at home against Taranaki, 28-26. Canterbury retain the shield despite Tasman's best efforts, beating them at home 31-25.
Still undefeated too.
And thankfully for Auckland, another win, 52-29
Big
against
game.
Manawatu, meaning they are considerably off the bottom of the table now. Southland are thumped just 2 weeks after winning.
And Sevu restarting too.
Yeah, Sevu restarting, and just 2 weeks after winning the Ranfurly Shield and a week after losing it, they go down to Counties Manukau 64-10 at home. Dalton Papali'i playing this game at blindside. Interesting.
I thought I would cheekily put that in there for this guy.
Because we've been advocating for it. 3 games to go. Only North Harbour, who are winless, are out of playoff contention currently. Auckland have a chance, and I believe next week they are playing a team more or less near the bottom. I think they might be playing County. Oh, no. They're playing someone who I think we could beat, but then the next games after that are Hawke's Bay and Otago, who are both
Tough.
very much in
Tough.
topping the table contention.
True that.
So maybe it's not all
Did
cracked
they
up
end
for
up playing
Auckland.
Southland?
Yeah,
Yeah, because you remember we were on this
Yeah.
podcast and you were saying you wanted Southland to keep the shield against Canterbury.
we still have to play
because
Southland.
Then their second, they're not their next defence after that, but the defence after that would be against Auckland.
Yeah.
And you wanted Auckland to win that because that'd be the most Auckland thing to do, and you are absolutely correct.
Oh, yeah, but that would have been under the pretense that Auckland would still lose every game up until that point.
Yes.
So it's the
Yeah.
first win of the season, and it's winning the Ranfurly.
Yeah, true. I mean, it'd be awesome to see Auckland there. Sucks that my North Harbour boys still can't win a game.
I think they've got quite a young,
Yeah.
inexperienced in
Yeah,
terms
it
of
is.
NPC teams. So
Yeah. I mean, you got Mark Talea, who's still quality, of course.
yeah,
but
I wish
it's
we had
tough.
him as an All Black option right now, but
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
we're
don't
going to
worry.
talk about that as we move over to the Farah Palmer Cup. Big results here. This was the penultimate round of the year. We'll talk more about the playoffs next week when
Yeah.
they're all fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
The Bay of Plenty Volcanics beat the Hawke's Bay Tui 62-17. Waikato at home beat the Manawatu Cyclones 15-10.
Yep.
The Northland Cody beat the Wellington Pride 29-24. The Otago Spirit, fortunately for you, get a big win over the North Harbour Hibiscus 31-22.
good.
And then unfortunately for both of us, the Auckland Storm at home go down to the odd rival Canterbury.
It's always in Christchurch.
19-32. We'll preview more of the Farah Palmer Cup next week as we move on to Dylan's specialty here.
They're
It's
back.
basketball. And the
They're back.
NBL season starts this week.
Yes,
and
it
you want
does.
to talk about that and the Breakers. Go ahead, good sir.
Yes, sir. So the Breakers are back this coming Friday night, the 19th of September. They start their season at Spark Arena against the Brisbane Bullets.
Good on you booking a dinner with me and your girlfriend on the night of the first Breakers game.
This is true, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta compromise.
There will be
You
a TV there, right?
gotta compromise. You bloody well know.
I'm gonna have my phone. It's fine.
Mayfield Sports Bar, isn't it?
She won't be happy with that.
Gabrielle, I love you. But actually,
change.
And like I said last week, I know this is sport related. But yesterday was my girlfriend and I's 6th-year anniversary of being together.
Oh.
Gabrielle, I love you very much. But I also love the Breakers.
I love it almost as much as the Breakers. I love it almost as much as CJ Bruden.
So the Breakers are back.
That reminds me,
yes.
when I eventually am in a relationship, I will have to tell my girl one day, I love you so much, but it cannot be larger than the Townsville Crocs.
Speaking from experience,
Or the Melbourne Tigers.
Speaking from experience,
Or CJ Bruden.
yeah. Speaking from experience, that doesn't go very well.
I mean, there's someone for everyone, right?
Hey, ain't that the truth? But yeah, so the Breakers season starts this coming Friday night at Spark Arena against the Bullets. And in terms of the ANBL in general, like over these past few years, it's gotten really, really competitive. It's really fucking good basketball.
It surprises me because the Breakers always seem to end up in the playoffs, even when it doesn't feel like we should be.
Yes,
but they always seem to be there.
Last year, a little bit different. But
with some great players like Jackson Parker
Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Sorry, got his name mixed up.
Is back. He's awesome. 5'10" menace.
Yeah, he's such a good player, and we've nailed it. I think with the imports, we've still got Kareem Lopez.
Yeah,
the
we do,
local
man.
guys who brought in. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Taco Fall. But
The Taco Fall experiment didn't really work.
It didn't work out, unfortunately. As much as I was happy at first to see Taco Fall, it just unfortunately didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been heaps of big moves. There's import signing everywhere. Specifically, the Adelaide 36ers have spent a lot of money and now include pretty much what a lot of like this generation will call the best ANBL player of all time. I think he's the best ANBL player of this generation for sure. They signed Bryce Cotton, who is now Australian qualified, which is bullshit. But
No, he's been there for so long.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about now he's got to play the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, but he deserves that.
Oh, absolutely.
He should have been.
He's been in Australia for years. He was in Perth for years.
I think he's been there for like almost 8 years. He should have been.
I think it's actually 9.
He should have been at the last Olympics, but Australia took so long to get a citizenship process. Now they have, and we'll probably see him at not next year, a year after his FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, I'd presume
in 2027.
So. Yeah,
if he's still kicking about, which I assume he will be.
Yeah, man.
But. How long does he have until he can match Andrew Gaze's status as probably the greatest NBL player of all time? I assume that's who you consider as one of the best or
that's
the
definitely
best.
one of the best.
Who did he play for? Who did he play for? Melbourne Tigers. Bring him back.
We're not doing this again.
Bring him
We're
back.
not doing this again. But yeah, look, you wanna watch some great sport. Watch
NBL.
the NBL, watch the NZ Breakers.
And it's on ESPN, right? So if you have Disney Plus, you can watch it without paying any more money. You don't need Sky.
Big facts.
That's how I'm watching all the NFL games.
Or like me, you go out with a big Disney fan that gets it so you can get it for free.
Exactly. Play the game.
Game.
You know,
don't hate the player, hate the game, baby.
There is a benefit to dating a Disney adult because you get the ESPN on Disney Plus, and she can't complain because technically anyone who plays in the WNBA is a Disney princess.
Oh my god!
My favorite Disney princess.
We're not going there.
Technically.
Oh man.
In New Zealand only, because I don't know how widespread ESPN does have the WNBA rights, because they don't. The rights they have in New Zealand for things they don't always have overseas.
No, that's very true.
Because when you tune into a bloody NFL game on ESPN here, and it's like NBC presents, I'm like, we don't have NBC here. I'm on ESPN.
That's true.
But that's the beauty. We'll talk about NFL later.
Yeah, we are going to talk about NFL later.
We will.
Unfortunately,
I'm going to have to remember to talk
speakers.
about the favorite little things I have about NFL broadcasting.
Yes,
it's
very true.
It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Well, before we talk about the thing that collectively brought the country to its knees, we're going to talk about the World Athletics Championships, which we haven't talked about the athletics on here yet. I'm very glad we are, because we have some Kiwis doing work in the athletics field.
Tokyo's National Stadium playing host
Yes.
yet again, although, I think Japan yet again is playing host to the World Athletics Championship. This stadium has not hosted it yet. I've been to this venue. It is great. The stadium built for the Olympics. I saw rugby played there. Obviously, sightline's not great for rugby, but for track and field, I can imagine it's more than good.
Yep.
So that's been going on. We don't have any international results down here, but I can tell you that Oblique Seville of Jamaica won the 100-meter sprint in like a 9:77 or 3. It was super quick.
Can I just say, like, I know a lot of people are used to like what Usain Bolt and those guys are doing back in the days. Anything under 11 seconds is no joke. And that guy ran it under 10.
Yeah, the 9.7s, I feel like you don't even see that much of anymore.
No,
that's
you don't.
Brilliant.
Noah Lyles couldn't do it. That's why he won bronze. So,
I mean, he has an Olympic gold as well, so you can't complain.
Fair.
But also in the pole vault, once again, Mondo Duplantis breaking the world record. It's now 6.3 meters. Because we know he can go so much higher, but he gets money every time he breaks it.
Yeah.
So he only breaks it by 0.1 meters every single time. Which, obviously, if that's how you get your money in pole vault, do that.
My favourite Swedish-American, mate.
Yeah, Mondo. Well, I think he's Swedish parent on one side and
America.
and was born and raised in America.
Yeah.
Americans
he
will
went,
be.
He went to LSU.
Yeah, the Americans will be fuming because I think he went to Sweden because they basically offered him a better deal.
Yeah.
The Australians, not Australians, the Americans will be fuming.
Oh, the Australians are pissed as well.
Oh, yeah. But, well, no, they've got Gout coming out. So
that's a very good point.
Gout, as I should say. But yes, and for New Zealand, we've got gold. I think in an event not a lot of people were expecting us to ever medal in. But shout out to George Beamish winning the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase, which is the event where they have to jump over those big hurdles with the water trough at the end, kind of like an equestrian. I always remember going to Trust Arena as a kid, and playing on the track and trying to jump over the hurdle and bloody hiding in the dip. But he's defeated current back-to-back Olympic champion, a multiple world champion. I think some of them consider him to be the greatest steeplechaser of all time. Sofiane El Bakali, I believe, of Morocco. He took the silver, and it was a big sprint. Beamish was quite behind, and then at the last second, he just powered on and just overtook him right at the end by milliseconds. In his heat, however, he'd actually fallen on the last lap and got stepped on. There's great photos which show just how brutal it was. But
not on purpose, by the way.
No, not on purpose. But he somehow got up and recovered and finished, I think, second in his heat.
Yeah, he did.
To make the final, and he only went on and won the gold. So congratulations to George. His first major outdoor international medal. He did win the gold medal last year in the standard 1,500 metres at the World Athletics Indoor Championship.
I will say, I mean, we had Nick Willis for years in the 1,500 metres, who was awesome. Man, George
won
Beamish.
Olympic silver because someone ahead of him got
caught.
Got caught on the roids, much like I think public enemy number one in New Zealand for at least a couple of weeks, Nazi Ospachuk of Belarus.
Yes.
Public.
Oh my God, I remember that.
I still remember waking up to my dad and he'd be like, "You never." They'll be like, I forgot how he worded it. He's like, "Guess what happened?" I was like, "Why?" He's like, Ospachuk got caught doping, and it was only like days. It was the Olympics was still going.
Yeah, it was.
So it was crazy how quickly. It must have been a pretty obvious sample. If it was 2 days later, they're like, they didn't even test it. They're like, that's not going to pass. Yeah, but shout out to Valerie Adams.
But also they should have known from the interview with them, and let's leave it at that.
Hey, let's be careful here, Dylan. Let's be careful.
George Beamish, awesome. Hopefully he can continue to carry that on.
It's only about 27, so next Olympics, clearly in his view. I think I saw it last year at the Olympics. He didn't make the final, but obviously coming into the next Olympics,
he stepped it up.
And 2028, he'll be very keen.
Carry on with the rest of those New Zealanders, man, because we have quite a few New Zealanders around.
Of course. Well, I'll talk about the ones who've already competed and won't compete anymore. Tom Walsh, Olympic medalist, finished fourth in the men's shot put, while Nick Palmer missed out on the final. Zoe Hobbs just missing out on the women's 100-meter final. That's a tough final to get into. We know how quick Zoe Hobbs is, so that's an amazing effort. Lauren Bruce missed out on the women's hammer throw final, and Sam Tanner, another talented 1,500-meter runner, unfortunately missed out on those semi-finals. But a lot of people competing. Ethan Olivet in the men's triple jump qualifiers on Wednesday night, so the day this comes out, and the final was on Friday night. Connor Bauer competes in the men's discus qualifiers on Saturday morning. The final will be on Sunday night. Madison Lee Wish, who's done pretty well in major tournaments, competes in the women's shot put qualifiers on Saturday morning with the final that night. Tori Morby competes in the women's javelin qualifiers on Friday night.
Is that a relation to Josh Morby?
I have no idea. But
somebody look that up, put in the comments.
Returning to the Hurricanes next year, Josh Morby, which gives them, I think, unfair wing depth, considering they still have Naholo and Punivai and Balin Sullivan and Whanon.
Thinking Angofo.
Crazy.
Tough.
And then the men's high jump final is on the night tonight that we're recording this podcast. So by the time this goes live, this would have already. Yeah. Although I forgot, I can just upload this when I get home. We'll see. But on Tuesday, whatever, the 16th of September, this final is on tonight. Yeah. Hamish Kerr, who was Olympic champion last year, has qualified, so he'd be hoping to win Olympic gold. World gold as well. And then also an exciting final, women's pole vault final, Wednesday night. You have all three Kiwi international pole vaulters in the final: Eliza McCartney, Olivia McTaggart, and Imogen Ayres, who all competed in the final at the Olympics last year.
Yes, they did.
So hopefully we see at least one of them medal, hopefully multiple. Imagine if all three do it. That'd probably be the first World Athletics Championship Kiwi
Podium, yeah.
Podium sweep. Love to see that.
And shout out, as a guy that's a North Shorean here in Auckland, a shout out to Takapuna Grammar, even though I didn't go there, to Eliza McCartney, Takapuna Grammar, and also Imagineers went to Takapuna Grammar. So fair play to them, mate. And they have Lord. So, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day...
I think they might have almost all been at school at the same time.
Probably.
Madness.
Anyway. I mean, Lord would have been...
Shout out to Reese, a friend of the show as well. He went to Takapuna Grammar. So
at the end of the day, West is best, so...
is that what the police say?
Yeah. yeah, West is best, bro.
But look, we have to bring it back. Because we have to talk about it.
We don't.
We do. Because shit needs to be said. Yes, that's right. We're talking about the All Blacks.
We don't have to make it
South Africa.
That dramatic.
I know, but I am.
On Saturday night, the All Blacks suffered their worst ever loss in the history of their existence, going down to South Africa 10-43 in Wellington, aka the city which may never host an All Blacks game ever again, considering the last game before that was a loss to Argentina on home soil, and I think they've lost a couple of games there as well. South Africa have drawn there recently as well.
I think we've lost to Ireland there.
Yeah, we definitely did because we bet them in Auckland and lost the other games in that tour.
Yeah.
The All Blacks were actually leading 10-7 at half-time and had some very promising moments. Players who performed well last week were continuing to play well this week. You also had Leroy Carter on debut.
Score a try.
Show a lot of promise. And a lot of people were feeling pretty confident heading into the second half. I was as well. Both Sasha Feinberg was off injured, and so was not Grant Williams. Fussy.
Yeah.
So you're 10 and you're 15 off. Corbus Reinach appeared to be somewhat injured, and he was also making a crap ton of handling errors in the first half. It was really a case of, okay, I think we've got this. I think we've got this in the bag. We could not be further from the truth. The likes of Marnie Libick at 10 tore us apart. Also, he started at 12. I think he stayed at 12.
I think he went to fullback eventually, but he played so good.
Remind me, I think I've got his
Damien Willemse.
Damien Willemse, just unbeatable. Cheslin Colby had a sensational game. He was one of their better performers last week, and he
went off too, injured.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
I thought he came back.
No, he didn't.
Oh well,
the only one that came back was Reinach.
But Ethan Hooker, sensational on the wing.
It was awesome.
Only like his third ever test, so shout out to him. I think the guy who also plays on the wing, who played outside centre,
Kanan Moody.
Kanan Moody was good. Obviously, the forwards killed us in scrum again.
Yeah, tough.
And look, for the All Blacks, second half, it just felt like after the 60-minute mark, because it was still a close game until the 60-minute mark, and then it just collapsed. Cheslin Colby scored an intercept, which kind of just... I think that may have been in the first half, but it did kind of shift the momentum a bit in that game. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of points to raise, and a lot of discussion.
And I'm going to start it by saying this. First of all, respect. And I love that, like, most All Blacks fans, most South Africa fans actually have a huge respect for each other, and it's it's well deserved. I would say most.
I mean, I think most do. Some don't. There's some accounts online which I think are just there to piss people off.
Yeah,
but
honestly, stuff them. Stuff the trolls, man. Let's get back to what it is. But shout out to South Africa. Shout out to the fans who turned up for both games.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to, Damien Willemse was elite.
I mean,
Cheslin Colby's world class, and like outside of this podcast, when it comes to South Africa, especially recently, I've actually been quite when people say their backs are good, I'm like, really? Because it felt like their forwards did a lot of the work. You give it to, at the time, Faf de Klerk or your halfback, which Grant Williams, hello, where'd your speed come from, mate? But and then they'd bomb it, get you into a pressure situation, line out, maul, try. That's how it played, and it felt like even though they were, they're class defenders, it felt like the Springboks backs were only there to defend. Tony Brown, a Kiwi, has come and changed that shit up, and you can see it in this game where, man, Willemse was awesome. Cheslin Colby is the one back who I never had that argument with because he's class.
Yeah.
Ethan Hooker, like you said, dominated the high ball, which we've been talking about for weeks.
Yeah.
What else was there? Kanan Moody was awesome at 13. Who was the and even before he went off, Sasha Feinberg was fantastic.
Yeah, and
Fassi I thought was doing well as well. All Blacks fans, the coaches, the players, yes it hurts. This shit you have to take on the chest.
Oh yeah.
You have to take this on the chest. No ref, no bullshit.
I mean, I don't think any sane person was blaming the ref for that game.
I saw some people doing it though. They're probably not sane.
No.
We need to take this on the chest.
In general, no shit ref performance can force a team to lose by 34 points.
No.
That is not a thing which can happen.
No.
A poor referee does not constitute
34, 33.
33.
Yeah.
Because
Same
the
thing,
ref cost
fucking
us the game. Yeah, I don't think the ref
give me a shit.
is preventing 33 points worth of South African tries. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
felt
mean-
like we weren't trying.
Yeah.
It felt like that every time we kicked the ball, we were not getting it back because they would kick it back to us and we would never get it back.
Yeah.
We were not catching any balls.
We certainly overkicked it.
We were only getting the ball back from the kickoffs if we were lucky.
Yeah.
It was horrendous to watch. I don't think I'd screamed that much in a game ever in my life.
Nah, man.
It was because just every time the defense fell flat and they broke through, or like, and I'm not blaming the kicking on specific players because it was not just one player from memory. I remember multiple players kicking.
I will.
But
We'll talk about that.
yeah, but I think it's how they're coaching to kick, and it just didn't
Yes.
work. And I think if we're gonna kick, we need to know how to catch the ball.
Yes.
There's no point. There's no point in kicking
Yeah.
it high if we're not going to be able to attempt it.
Yeah.
So
It's like, yeah.
We need-
Look, I'm going to look at. I mean, we're going to talk about certain players. Eventually, but
you can start it now.
everybody-
You can start it now because I think
everybody needs to take this on the chest.
yeah.
All Blacks, like everybody, like we need to take this on the chest.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't realised that the rugby world is caught up, and this is just how professional sport is, welcome to sport, welcome to life.
think-
It happens.
I think everyone who's not an like a Facebook commenter knows that the rest of the world's catched up because
Yeah,
I
man.
was fearing France years before when the World Cup draw got done.
Yeah.
3 years before the World Cup in the end of 2020 when I was still working at McDonald's. I remember on night shift watching the draw happen and seeing us draw France and be like, oh well, fuck, we're losing that.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years before. What happened? We lost to France first game of the tournament.
Yeah, man.
Like-
we did.
The world is caught up, and we lost to Ireland. We lost 2 games in a row to Ireland and lost
Yeah.
the series 3 years ago.
Yes.
At World Cup, like we said, we lost to France and very narrowly lost to South Africa. Last year, we couldn't beat South Africa at all, and I think we dropped some other games along the way. We lost to Argentina. We lose to Argentina again this year.
Yeah.
If this should not be the game where you go, oh, I think the rest of the world is caught up. They've caught up for 4 fucking years.
they have, yeah.
Longer, even.
And let's be real, here in Aotearoa in New Zealand, we've been so lucky because you could argue for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years, the All Blacks have dominated rugby. And this is with other, like, I mean, we can go.
To be fair, South Africa were always like the team that we were
Yes.
unable to beat in an away series.
Yes,
But
agreed.
I think that's obviously a
But,
conditions thing.
for
And a,
hundreds of years, we've dominated rugby. You could argue the All Blacks made it popular. There's All Blacks fans in South Africa right now.
there's
All Blacks
reasons for that, but yeah.
There's All Blacks. Yes, that's true. There's All Blacks fans in Brazil right now.
There's All Blacks fans around the
There's
world.
All Blacks fans around
it's
the
a
world.
brand.
Yeah, they've highly contributed to making the rugby game big.
But back to the game.
But back to the
Because
game.
because just because how big your brand is doesn't guarantee you're going to win games.
Fucking absolutely.
And we've seen that in this game as well, where we
Yeah.
can't catch high balls. Our scrum
Yeah.
still got absolutely demolished.
Yeah.
Although, is that a case of South Africa's just being really good? Who knows? We need to see it against
Both.
Australia.
It's definitely both.
We need to see it against Australia because it didn't look too bad beforehand.
I'm going to say this, though, and I said this to you before we were off mic.
I already forgot. So
Well, I've got some good news for All Blacks
Oh,
fans.
good
I've got some
news.
good news. Everything that went wrong
Oh, yeah.
in this game, where we lost historically the most we've ever lost by before, 33 points, all of it is fixable.
But don't expect it to be fixed for the first game against Australia at
Agreed.
the end of the month,
But
because it won't be.
Yeah, but we still have great players that have potential to be great players.
Yes.
But they've got to sort some shit out.
I think
We're going to start on the field first, though, because I think a lot of it is off. And I will get back to that after. By off, I don't mean changing our international players policy, because I don't think that would have fixed this shit either. I don't think it does.
Nah. I think it makes a small difference. I think it makes a very... I don't think we lose by 33 if you
but I
select
still
some
think we
guys.
lose that 43-23.
Yeah, we still lose. I think we still lose that game, but I feel like there's... It would just... Because, again, you want to talk on the field first. That's all good, but off the field, I think we are not calling up the right types of certain players.
I agree with that.
In the team, I think we are lacking... We're trying to compromise with players who are very good, but we might need to make some more cutthroat decisions in terms of
I agree.
what players actually get the chance, because it feels like we're neglecting speed, which is like, why would we neglect speed? Look how quick everyone is now.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And obviously,
brother,
Leroy Carter's very quick.
Yeah. Brother big man Snyman shows the speed with his try, bro.
Yeah.
And he's a big ass lock.
How all of these guys, like, what players specifically, we don't know. Well, I couldn't really tell you, but...
I'll be honest with you. Yes, I think it makes a small difference. I still think we have the players in New Zealand to be the best team in the world.
Oh, we do. But I also feel like we might get left by the rest of the world if we don't call up the players overseas. But I don't think we want to go bazinga with it.
Anyway, we digress. We will talk about that eventually. Let's talk about on the field. First thing, let's be real here. I think we've gotten arrogant on the field.
A little.
I think
a
that.
little.
I think that game there specifically showed it. We need to get back to basics.
Yeah,
we are not getting the basics right.
Last week probably contributed to that. The game before probably contributed to being a little bit arrogant and undermining. Typically, we aren't like this. I think it might just be maybe the whole mentality isn't just there at the moment. And
let's be real here too. South Africa, 2017. They lost 57-0 to us.
Yeah.
What did they do after? They got better, won the next 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like this is impossible.
No.
But on the field, at least in this game, we got the basics wrong. I think we either tried to do too much or didn't do enough of the basics.
The old discipline kicked back in. Scrum wasn't great. The line out, unfortunately, I think Brodie McAllister had a mare.
Yeah,
and that's not saying he's a bad hooker at all. I think, unfortunately, it was like a possum in headlights.
I think
came
that's
on
one of those cutthroat decisions. I can't lie.
First line out was, not straight. A couple of line outs weren't straight.
Yep.
A couple of misplays, which is unfortunate. He's not typically the third choice hooker though, like or the backup hooker. Obviously, Cody Taylor was out for this game. He would have made such a big difference. You would also say that maybe even Asafa Almore would maybe perform a little bit better. Maybe even George Bell. Honestly, I don't think George Bell would be making as many of those errors. But again, we just need those guys to get more experience. And
you can say that. I think that we'll talk about this as well, because I think I think that if you get beaten by 33 points, in a game. That is absolutely down to the players. I think it's even bigger on the coaching. You got out-coached. We're going to talk about that too.
I think
if we get time.
Fuck if we do. But I think there's
it's the basics, man. It's the basics.
It's
what the All Blacks got right for so many fucking years.
Is the basics.
And somehow, we're too arrogant now to get the basics right?
Yeah.
What?
We just need to,
Although, I don't think South Africa's line out is actually that good at the moment.
No, it wasn't that good. I think it only started to get good, unfortunately, when McAllister came on. Yes. I really hate saying that. It was still a strong point for most of the game. And then, for that last, I won't say when he came on, but for the last 20 minutes, we kind of stopped trying.
Yeah.
I think it's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like we are lacking some types of players on the pitch.
Yeah,
you could argue that there's not a leader. I hate to say that.
Sorry, dog roll.
Not a leader, but like a proper captain leader.
Yes,
because you would say Ardie Savea is our leader because he is. Is he an All Blacks captain? Who knows?
I'll be honest.
I'd love to see him get given a run.
I honestly think he's a captain. Like, you can see it. And look, I love Scott Barrett. Like he is a great player, but he doesn't have the same mana as. But
there's another lock.
Ardie Savea.
I think there's another lock I'd have as a captain over Scott Barrett. Unfortunately, he couldn't play in this game.
You're talking about Patrick.
I'm talking about Patrick Tuipulotu.
Yeah.
I think he'd be. I think a lot of people are saying like he'd be captain material. Like
He's been captain material for years now.
and I think you need to have him on the bench in the big games. Unfortunately, he was injured for this one.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, he's still dealing with eye fracture.
Yeah, because I think he wouldn't have changed the whole outcome of that game, but I
fuck
think he
no.
would have prevented a lot of silly mistakes from happening.
You'd think, yeah.
But we need to get the basics. We need to make sure that we are still getting better at the things we're struggling at. Like we need to be more disciplined. We need to be better under high ball. Our scrum, I think, just because it got demolished as bad as it did, even if it's the best scrum in the world, we need to make sure that's up to scratch more.
Absolutely.
Because
and let's be real. I honestly thought, because I didn't necessarily. It's a collective in that front row.
Yeah.
I don't think Ethan. Tyrell Lomax just coming back from injury, not an excuse. Ethan de Groot has struggled these past 2 years for form. But I still think at his best, he's one of the best props in the world.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, Tamaiti Williams, he's been the one more in form over the past year or so. I'm thinking maybe he changed the scrum. No. That did not happen. And I'm not taking away from South Africa elite scrum. Oxen Che is the best prop in the world right now, and he proved it.
I think we'd be surprised if we were consistently beating a South African scrum.
Yes.
Even if they had regressed.
It should have been a hell of a lot more even than it was.
Yeah, it was
in both games, actually.
In both games, because in that first game, it was still getting demolished as well.
Yeah.
But, and also, I don't want to say this is not proof that the ref gave New Zealand the first game. Not at all. South Africa still lost the first test. They still made simple mistakes.
Yeah, they did.
A better ref would have still probably refed the game, and New Zealand probably still would have won. That is going to unfortunately start this dialogue that South African fans are going to say, the ones who you don't like to talk to, are going to say, well, clearly we got robbed in the first game because we beat you by 33 the next week.
Ignore them.
No, that's not.
That's a minority of people, man.
No, that's
they just got the biggest voices.
Why you lost in the first week.
The ref was because you keep dropping the ball.
Yeah, the ref wasn't. The handling errors don't come from the referee, and all the other errors, all the discipline errors. But we're not going to talk about last week.
Yeah, but we got too much to talk about for this week. But get the basics right. Get the basics right.
I don't I think a lot of people were expecting like a whole we're going to drop all the old guys. I don't think it's going to happen, because if we drop Beauden Barrett, I think we get...
That's a mistake.
We get put back so many more meters. If we drop, let's say, Geordie Barrett, we're going to get put a lot of the way back. If we drop Satiti, we're going to be all the way back.
Yeah,
and I think kind of the extent, probably the same if we drop Scott, maybe. But
yeah, agreed.
I think behind the scenes now, go off the field. We need to look at, are we actually calling up the best players?
Yes,
are we actually looking for the right profile of players?
Definitely.
Are we actually... I think we are getting it on the money with Simon Parker, I think, because he was still making tackles.
I can't lie to you. I still think our forward pack is very good.
I think the forward pack's good. I don't think
I don't think you changed the forward pack.
I think the only issue with the forward pack is it got battered by the scrum. But that's the only thing with the forward pack.
Agreed.
It's a back thing. And for the first time, it feels like in history of the All Blacks, it's a back issue.
Yeah.
It's like, are we trying to play the right type of centre? Are we trying to play the right type of winger?
Yes.
We need fast wingers, but we also need high ball wingers, which is annoying because usually it's one or the other.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? We've got them in the country.
Yeah, we have Caleb Clark. I think we have someone like Caleb Tangito who's probably not that far off. We have players like Karantoa Moifala, who's obviously not eligible now.
Yeah.
But he will get there. Macca Springer, when he learns how to take a hit a little bit more, he will be there. I can't say anything.
And to be fair, look, I'll say this. I think Leroy Carter had a better game than I thought he would.
Yeah, I think he didn't look too out of play.
He's speed there.
I can't think of any defensive laps he made.
No.
But
he caught a high ball.
Yeah, he caught a high ball, and also you pointed it out, tactically, in that first half, we moved our defensive line and caught South Africa by surprise.
Can I just say,
we need to do that more often.
We lost by 33 points. We moved their defensive line the entire game.
Yeah,
you see it. What they did at Eden Park, and I think you would have seen this, is they really rushed they started to rush the outside, and we found gaps in the middle.
Yeah.
Except for the Amoni Narawa try where they actually rushed the middle.
Yeah.
In this game, they rushed the middle. We were getting it out.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to say we were getting it out. Look, he's a hard worker. I get it. He's been a name that's, recently that's been thrown around, and he's been starting every game. But look, we need a 13 that can get the ball out to our wingers. Billy Proctor it.
It's fun because there's no real 13 who plays 13 who is that type of centre here, which is like, okay.
Well, actually, I would argue there is.
Who's your one?
I would argue there is, but he's playing I won't say the wrong position, but I think if he played the 13 position,
because I was saying players who are actually playing at 13.
Yes,
I know,
yes.
we know you and me have both agreed that Geordie Barrett would be great at 13, and it would allow us to play someone like Tupaia at 12.
Yes, who has been great.
Who has been great.
And I honestly really hope to see Tupaia at 12 and Geordie at 13 for one of these games against Australia.
I think he could. I think he could do a good job. I also expect to see Lester Whainonu given a shot. I think it will happen this year. I don't know if it's against Australia. I don't know if it's happening.
I think it'll happen Northern Tour, but you see it. Yeah, I think you'll see it.
I think it will happen.
I don't think he fixes that, though.
I believe he played 12 for Tasman over the weekend.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people said he played good.
I think I think he'd be better at 12 than he is at 13.
Yeah. We just need to push Geordie to 13. We need to convince Razor play him at 13.
At least try it.
Yeah.
Because, that's the thing. And also, at the
where
same
else
time,
is he going to play if he's not playing at 12? 15?
Fullback? You said that last week.
And do we want to play him at 15? Because both Will Jordan and, I will say, Damien McKenzie have played very good at fullback.
Well, McKenzie didn't play very well in this game.
I mean, no. And that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
if we're talking, you're right. I think New Zealand Rugby and the coaching staff, actually, I will say this as well, with the backs, when Razor first started, he had Leon McDonald on his staff coaching the backs. And what happened?
McDonald left, and someone online said that they think it was because McDonald was campaigning for Talea to start on the wing, and Razor said, no, we're starting Reece on the wing, and it didn't work, and then McDonald left, and then eventually he had to start Talea on the wing, and he stayed there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's rumours, but you get the point. It looks bad.
And that kind of brings to the point, if you were to pick players who were not eligible to be picked, although Mark was eligible to be picked,
yes,
who would you pick? I think Mark Talea, hello. I'd have him on the wing. At halfback, because of the injury crisis, I'm calling up Aaron Smith. I know he's in his late 30s, but he'd make such a big difference, just mentality as well. Like,
big thing. I know this is on the field as well, but with the backs especially, I was talking about it today, and we'll talk about it later on as well for our segment.
Yeah.
When Aaron Smith and Dan Carter played together, Dan Carter may have been the one dictating what was happening, no doubt. But man, they were opposite. Aaron Smith was the loud vocal guy.
Yeah.
Dan Carter was the quieter, lead by example guy.
It's always great to have.
But they fucking fit perfectly. We don't have that.
No.
Cam Roigard, although a fantastic player, isn't the loudest guy in the world.
No.
Neither is Beauden Barrett.
He doesn't need to be.
No.
But also, do we have a loud 10?
You could argue Carlos Spencer was allowed 10.
I mean, currently.
Currently? No. But we need I do think,
and I think we do really need to make sure we are trying to bleed in 10s. I don't think not having. No,
we really do.
I'm not saying like because of that game.
And we are going to get Moanga back. I get it, but we really do.
But we'll see if he gets up the depth chart. I think he probably will. But we need to give Ruben Love's there. If Ruben Love starts one of his games at 10 for the rest of the year, I'm not upset. Also, when he came on, guess what, fans? He played the wing. Guess what he's not going to do again? Played a wing.
There you go.
I kind of, because I'd had a few beers when I watched this game.
Yeah.
But
tough, man.
That's right, he played on the wing. That's probably not the best way to introduce him against South Africa on the wing. No. I would have taken him off for DMAC, but look,
agreed.
Hey, you can't win them all. But
big thing as well. Actually, speaking of DMAC, because the kicking game. Look, everybody has a thing on it. But I'm going to blame two specific players. One of my favorite players, Beauden Barrett, who should definitely stay at 10.
Yeah. And
Damien McKenzie. When those guys, the only problem with Beauden Barrett, especially DMAC, a little bit different, but with both of them, anytime the pressure's really on, what's the first thing those guys do? They kick the ball. Yeah. And when we are clearly getting it out, and maybe this is a coaching thing, but clearly when we're getting it out to the wing, and when we get it out there is space. Why do you keep kicking it?
I mean, sometimes it's because other players are making a run, and I get that.
No,
But
stop, bro.
No, but I get that because other teams do it to a T. And
Yes, but what did we say before? Yes, it worked once. I think we do it too much. It's crossfield kick we do way too much.
yeah,
But what the point I'm trying to
I
make
think we
is
just need to make sure we're not doing it as much. Not
but-
saying don't do
yeah.
it at all.
get
but
back to the fucking basics
Yeah.
and earn the right to do it.
yeah,
And once again, when you say player selections, have the players that can fucking catch them.
yeah. I think Caleb Clark will get named against Australia,
Yes.
and I think we will
He'd have to.
be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. I wouldn't be surprised if Rico gets another shot at 13 and people maybe see
Yep.
a little bit more of a positive.
Oh, let me get into this, please. Let me get into Rico Ioane.
Yeah.
Because I think he makes a difference. Not a
Yeah.
big difference, because we lost by 33
I don't
points.
think he makes the biggest difference if he's
Yeah.
on the wing in that game, but if he was playing it outside centre,
Yeah.
I think it's a different story.
The reason I'm saying this, number one, defensively, elite. He's
Yeah.
made himself an elite defender. Number two, he defends the wide channels really, really well.
Yeah.
Which Geordie Barrett, I think at 13, would be able to do as well. He's a
Yes.
freak. But the big thing with Rico Ioane, man, and look, I know, first of all, sending my condolences to the Ioane family. It was his grandma passed away. Actually, his fiance had a perfect post
Yeah.
on TikTok where pretty much she had 2 slides saying, you keep talking about this guy, but remember this guy's a thing. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But pretty much she had a photo of him playing rugby and then a photo of him at his grandma's casket. But man, every time that guy plays, even if he plays bad, he actually shows pride in the fucking jersey.
Oh, exactly.
And fuck, we need more of that.
A lot
We need more
of
of that.
a lot of people just get rubbed the wrong way by him, but I think you kind of forget how valuable he is.
And I also think fans are like, look, we're fans. We're stupid. But fans are stupid for this. They're so used to how he started his career. They hold on to that. And then when he went to centre where he didn't score as many tries, nowhere near as many tries,
But also,
they're like, what the fucking, what's going on?
But also-
plays a role perfectly, man.
but when you
anyway.
say starts his career, he did start his career at centre. He got shifted to the wing for the
Yes.
first Lions game in 2017, and he never moved because he played very well there because he
Yeah.
fit the winger we wanted at the time.
But he was also at the end of a fantastic backline.
oh yeah,
Like he was the end of a fantastic backline, and when he moved into centre, he really filled a role, which, like you said,
Yeah,
is a
because,
natural role.
like apart from Billy Proctor, out of all the 13s in this country, who was playing 13? Because unfortunately, it feels like every other centre named is a 12.
Yes,
Except
Tava Nawai, 12. Tupaya, who I love, 12. Lester Whanganuku, yes, a 13. I guess,
But
but
Leonard Brown's a 12 and
12,
a 13.
yeah.
We'll see if he gets another run. But look, we just need to make sure
it's selections. It's
with
selections. Like you were saying.
selections. I'm thinking, would there be any other players overseas I'd select? Probably not. Off the top
I
of my
think there's
head.
a lot of people that argue Shannon Frizzell, but I think you've got to keep
Nah,
developing Parker.
I think Frizzell at that point, like if Parker was injured and Satiti was injured, then yeah, sure, maybe. But
Parker's a gem, though. We said this.
I don't think we don't need to rely on Frizzell.
Yeah.
I think we're fine with Parker.
Yeah, I think we're fine in our forwards in general. We've got depth. I think we have depth where we need it.
Yeah, I don't think
stuff
there's any.
like that.
Oh no, I'd call up Ricky Riccatelli.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'd call up
yes.
Ricky.
He should have been called up last year.
Yeah.
And they selected George Bell.
Third choice hooker would have made a massive
Oh my
difference instead
God,
of
yes.
would have made a massive difference off the bench. Obviously not enough to win the game.
Yeah.
But like
The All Blacks need to look at that.
but
'cause-
all of those
yeah.
things together, like if we had Riccatelli, if we had Tui Pelotu,
Yeah.
if we had Aaron Smith, if we had Mark Talea, I think it's obviously not an all people's issue. Like clearly
Fuck no.
the players were a bit arrogant, played like shit the last 20 minutes because they weren't trying.
Yeah.
The coaching just wasn't up to it.
This was a game where Razzie Erasmus, it was really Razzie Erasmus versus
also-
Razor, and Razor got dominated,
If we get
especially second half.
swept by Australia, which I don't think will happen, but if we get swept, because that will mean we lose the
I'll be
Bledisloe,
honest, if we lose at Eden Park,
I
oh my
think
God.
it might be. I think if
And
because
Australia's much better now too,
I
coached
think-
by a Kiwi.
if we lose the Bledisloe, which would be at least a draw and a loss,
Yes.
I would honestly not be surprised. Even I don't even know who would replace him if they do Tavares. Which is crazy.
Look,
2 years out from the World Cup.
yeah,
But I think, but also, I don't know if it's a stupid idea. I don't even think it's a stupid idea because this guy was hailed as the prodigal coach to take us to the next level. After last World Cup cycle, obviously had a couple of first big losers. Like we lost to Argentina for the first time.
Yeah.
We lost the home series to Ireland, but keep in mind that Ireland team was very good.
Yes.
Keep in mind the South African team is very good.
Very good.
We were losing the odd game. So maybe it is a bit of an overreaction now I think about it. But you say maybe Razor gets sacked after 2 years because they kept Ian for 4. But
I think he at least goes to the World Cup. We'll see what happens after that.
We'll see what happens against Australia and also on the Northern Tour.
Yeah, true.
Because
it's going to be
I don't think this is going to happen, but if he loses 6 games in a row, well, so it would be 7. But if he loses 2 Aussie games and 2 Northern Tour games, 4 Northern Tour games.
Yeah. Let's just say this to sum up the coaching side. All of those coaches need to take a look at themselves. All the selectors need to take a look at themselves. And honestly, all of us fans need to take a look at ourselves.
Also,
we need to take this on the chest. Because South Africa did the same thing and came back. We absolutely have the ability to do it.
And also, a lot of the players I think we were advocating for obviously can play in that game because of injury or they weren't eligible.
But even then, I
think we are missing.
A loss.
I think we are missing some players.
I think yes, we are. I don't think we win in Wellington because of it. Not the way we played.
I was going to say something, but I don't remember. I think like we both realised. Well, really, me realised last week. Joe Schmidt, get your fucking ass in the coach box next year. Next to Razor.
Yeah,
come
man,
on.
he looks mean.
Joe, you're coming in. Like, you're not an Aussie next year. I don't know if you've got a job lined
I'll
up.
tell you what, if Tony Brown's not lined up at South Africa, get his ass
we need
in.
Joe and Tony. And if we can, Jamie Joseph, get in there as well. I think a lot of people were saying get rid of Razor and put in Jamie Joseph, Joe Schmidt, and Tony Brown. I'm like, that's actually not horrific, but I'd still probably want Razor and Jason Ryan.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
And Wayne Smith seems to be up for it because, I mean, he won the Women's World Cup,
I think the big thing is, like, Razor was a different type of hire than we usually make.
Yeah.
Like with All Blacks coaches before, we had a really good success thing of start in New Zealand, do really well, go overseas, build up, do really well, come back here, do really well, you get a coach.
I'm pretty sure Foster went overseas. I might be wrong.
Foster did, I'm pretty sure.
But obviously Wayne Hansen coached Wales.
Steve Hansen.
Steve Hansen.
Yep.
Steve Hansen coached overseas. Graham Henry coached overseas. Although because Wayne Smith got the job before Graham Henry.
Yes.
Before John Mitchell. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't know if Wayno had been overseas before that. I also don't know if John Mitchell had been overseas because Mitchell hadn't even been that long retired when he took the job.
Yeah.
Because he'd been playing in the 90s and he took the job heading into 2003.
True.
I don't think a lot of people in this country forgive him for dropping Christian Cullen, but that's obviously a question for another day. But I think that's probably everything we need to talk about the All Blacks.
I know we've got this thing. There's one more thing I want to say.
One more thing.
There's one more thing, and then we'll go into the international sport. One more thing I want to say. All Blacks, you need to find your purpose again. No, honestly, they need to find their purpose again. Like we said, get back to basics on the field, get back to it off it. Why are you an All Black? Why are you wearing the jersey? Like you have to look at yourself. Everybody does this in life.
Yeah.
You have to look at yourself when you are at the bottom and go, man, why am I doing this? And if you want to know why you're doing this, because look, let's be real. When you hear conversations about South Africa, like the country itself, oh my goodness, I don't care if it's expensive to buy a house here, live here, whatever. You will never know. You will never know what that is like.
Yeah.
Everybody describes it as that. My South African friends describe it as that.
Oh, I mean, I think I've made jokes with myself, a coworker all the time about the power going off there.
Exactly.
Like that, but just a small, like, because obviously power cuts aren't a small thing, but like, if you're constantly having to deal with power cuts, like in New Zealand, whenever we get a power cut, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yes.
We'll usually go years without big ones, but I can't imagine it happening multiple times a day. And also in South Africa, all of the, pretty rough areas people live in, and the constant, I know a lot of people constantly fear for their lives and safety. Obviously, we're not going to talk geopolitically but about a country neither of us have ever been to.
Yeah,
but
you get the point though, right?
Like there's a lot of South Africans here for various reasons.
But that is South Africa's purpose. They know that, and after 2017, I know they looked at it. All Blacks, if you ever hear this, I'm talking to you. Your purpose is every single little fan in there that's looking at you as a model. It's the fans that have grown up watching, the All Blacks, and it's not even about the winning.
No,
it's about the fact that you represent us and you do it well, and that's got nothing to do with winning. We need to get back to that. Remember your purpose from now. And look, major setback, a setback is a setup for a comeback. Let's see what we can do. But there's a lot of things that need to be looked at. Player selections, big one. Let's go to the international sport, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sick
a
of
massive
talking about
one.
this shit.
But we play Australia at Eden Park at the end of September.
Yeah.
I might end up going to that game. Who knows?
True.
It'll be good fun. But the international sports, and finally we get to talk about something a bit neutral. Thank Christ. The Premier League back at it again after international break and
Yes,
some
sir.
good results. I watched a little bit of this game. Arsenal beating Nottingham Forest 3-0.
I watched the highlights of that this morning. Arsenal dominant.
Very, very good as always. Great first goal for Zubamendi, just off the volley.
Oh, bro, he'll never hit a volley like that again.
No,
That was tough.
and this was Nottingham Forest's first game under Ange Postecoglou. Didn't work out too well, but hey,
No.
we move on. Bournemouth get the dub over Brighton 2-1. Good result for them. Crystal Palace and Sunderland play out in a 0-0 draw.
Yep.
Everton and Aston Villa play in a 0-0 draw. Aston Villa have not scored a goal this season yet. It's been
Wow.
4 games.
Wow.
Come on, Aston Villa. I picked 2 you guys in fantasy. Get repaid for shit.
Come on.
Fulham, big win over Leeds, 1-0. Newcastle, 1-0 win over Wolves. And I believe Nick Waltmeyer scored their new big man.
Yeah, Voltemada did score there.
Off a header. Obviously, he's about 6'7" or whatnot.
Yep.
Brentford steal a draw at Chelsea, home to Chelsea, 2-2.
Yep.
Liverpool steal a win over Burnley in the 94th minute,
Tough.
thanks to a Mo Salah penalty. And then in the Manchester derby, first one of the season, Manchester City, comfortable 3-0 win over Man United.
Yep.
Questions being asked there. Games of note next week, we have the first Merseyside derby
Merseyside.
of the season. Liverpool hosting Everton at Anfield on Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. And then Manchester United take on Chelsea on Sunday morning at 4:30 a.m. And then Arsenal Man City, massive game at 3:30 a.m. on Monday. But also Champions League kicks off this week as well. So the Davis goes out on the day
that's
after.
actually-
Actually not bad.
I didn't expect that to be that good.
Europa League and Conference League kicking off later in the year. I think Europa League later this month, Conference League in October.
Yes.
But some massive games in the first week. We have Athletic Club, your
Come
Spanish
on, my
boys,
boys.
taking on Arsenal.
Oh, fantastic.
Juventus hosting Dortmund and Real Madrid hosting Marseille, all on Wednesday. Thursday, Bayern Chelsea,
Tough.
PSG Atalanta, and Liverpool versus Atletico
It's gonna be
Madrid.
mean.
And then on Friday, Newcastle versus Barcelona,
That'll be tough.
and Man City versus Napoli.
Oh,
So-
the Kevin De Bruyne revenge game. Of
yeah,
it.
I mean, and that Napoli team, I love it so much because what do you mean their main midfield maestros are Kevin De Bruyne and Scott McTominay. The striker above him is now Rasmus Højlund,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
scored on his first goal back
Yeah,
in
he
Serie A.
did.
And also shout out to the Turkish league game between Fenerbahce and Trabzonspor. The goalkeepers in that game were both goalkeepers from a Champions League final from 2 years ago.
Wow.
2 years ago or 3 years ago. One of those periods of times ago. Fenerbahce had Edison and Trabzonspor had Andre Onana, who got man of the match despite conceding 1 goal for making a shit ton of saves. So
Wow.
it is proof that the grass is greener if you're not at Manchester United, because that's appalling. As we move on to the Women's Rugby World Cup, the other quarterfinals, Canada, business as usual for them over Australia, 46-5. As we know, they faced the Black Ferns on Saturday morning.
Yep.
France, narrow win over Ireland, but overshadowed by an act of Luis Suarezisms by French flaker Axel Biffamu, who's been banned for 12 matches.
Good.
For
this.
biting one of Ireland's players. It's one of his Irish names. I forgot to look up how to pronounce. Because I think no matter how we
Just you would have seen it.
Aoife. I think it's like it might be like Effie.
It could be.
I don't know.
But we're not going to go.
But unfortunately, she got bidden because that's not. We don't tolerate it at all.
Hell no.
Horrific.
Get
and then
banned.
England for them game business as usual against Scotland 40-8. So we know the Black Ferns take on Canada 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, and France take on England at 2:30 on Sunday morning. England should probably win that game, but the France, you never know. What
True
will
that.
happen as we move to more rugby in the Pacific Nations Cup, and in the big result in the 5th place playoff, which was to play for a place in the World Cup. The USA beat Samoa 29-13.
They
Obviously,
did.
this is a very weakened Samoan squad. A lot of their guys are playing NPC or in Europe.
Which is kind of sad, to be honest.
It is quite sad, but it's not all over for Samoa, and we'll talk about that later. The USA have qualified directly for the World Cup, which World Rugby will be very happy about because they didn't qualify last time, and they host the next World Cup after the next one.
True.
So they're very happy that the US did qualify. In the semi-finals of this tournament, all these teams have already qualified. Tonga go down to Japan 24-62, and Fiji smack Canada 63-10. All of these games were played in Denver. Now, next week, On Sunday at 10:35 a.m., Tonga play Canada in the third place playoff, and at 1:35 p.m., which I think will be a great game on neutral soil, Japan will take on Fiji. Also,
which everybody that watches the Pacific Nations Cup was like, oh, again.
well,
But I think it'll be a great
it's always
game.
a great game, and they are by far the two better teams in this.
Somebody said
competition.
they should be in the rugby championship.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
I could argue Fiji.
But I
think Japan is close, but not there yet.
if you add Fiji, that's 5 teams. You kind of have to add another team.
Yeah, you do. That's
And what's the other team you're going to add there? Japan. Or maybe not Georgia, but I think
fair. No,
Georgia,
you wouldn't add Georgia.
Georgia
into
would
the
be
rugby
awesome, though.
championship.
But
True.
also in Salt Lake City, Samoa played Chile. And this is in the first leg of the Pacifica Sudamerica playoff for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. So basically, a two-legged affair. Samoa, they are the bottom team of the Pacific Nations Championship, take on Chile, who were the runners-up in South America. They, I think, in South America, yeah.
Yes.
So they were playing a two-legged affair. The winner of this will go to the World Cup. The loser will go to the final qualifying tournament, which we have talked about briefly.
Yep.
So the first leg is this Sunday in Salt Lake City, and then the second leg is the week after in Vina del Mar in Chile.
Down Mard.
Chile obviously qualified for the last World Cup. They'll be hoping to make it back-to-back appearances. Samoa will be hoping to avoid embarrassment. To
True
be
that.
forced to compete in the final qualifying tournament. We already know that the loser of Samoa Chile will face Belgium, Namibia, and the winner of Brazil versus Paraguay. So, very interesting Pacific Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone in their games next week.
Get on.
But in the Rugby Championship, in a very tight game, which Australia almost stole again, they go down at home in Sydney, 26-28 to a brilliant Argentina team. Although the last try Australia scored definitely had a forward pass in it, which was not picked
was
up.
that what's his name? Is it Doganu? Is it?
Oh yeah.
What's his name again?
Is it not? I'm trying to think of how the Australian commentator says it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But,
anyway, he's number 23. It's definitely forward.
He played really well
He did.
off the bench. Obviously, that was the craziest 10 minutes of a rugby game ever.
True.
A hooker charged down a kick. The Argentinian hooker, the captain, charged down the kick and ran for 20 minutes to score a try.
Julian Montoya.
Yeah, legend. Montoya, legend. But yeah, great win for Argentina. But it means that every single team in the rugby championship has won 2 games and lost 2 games. Australia are on top with 11 points and a plus 10
Good
point
on.
difference. South Africa is second on 10 points with a plus 18 point difference. We're tied with them on 10 points, but we have a negative 15 point difference, the worst in the comp. And then Argentina are fourth on 9 points with a minus 13 point difference. Those games against Australia, if we can win both of them with a bonus point, it does put us in a pretty decent position because I think South Africa and Argentina will have some very close games. Because I think Argentina have looked a lot more fluid, have looked
Yes.
very fluid in some games and
Yes.
very disciplined and very strong, especially in that second game against the All Blacks and against Australia at times.
Yep. This kind of makes next year look shit.
It does. A lot of people are complaining, and I get it, but also I think it kind of has to do with the new thing they've got on with the Nations Championship. But even then, I don't see how that actually clashes. I do think that this is kind of the best interests for New Zealand and South Africa, and not for everyone else, because it does mean for. I think, although Argentina have, I've read somewhere that
Pretty much, just to explain, next year, New Zealand, South Africa, All Black South Africa, they're going to play a series, 3-game series, like they used to actually back in the days. It's going to be, I believe, the first one in South Africa.
Yeah, they're going to have the whole thing in South Africa. But someone said they were hoping that Australia and Argentina would get to play both teams before or after it. But then someone also said in 2027, usually there's a shortened rugby championship because of the World Cup. But because it's been held later in the year, they're expecting to still play a full rugby championship that year, which I'm fine with that. Because if it's starting in October, then absolutely play it. Play a full rugby championship. We want prep. We want to play as many games as we can. So I'm fine with that. But I think the tour next year should be great. It will be great rugby and people will forget about it.
True.
Because all the games, I think, if we do improve, hopefully we do.
We have to.
There'll be some tight games. I mean, the games against the URC teams will be great as well, and whatever other teams they throw up against us. But we have to wait and see. As we move on to the final bit of international sport, the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Second week, going ham. Some more close games, some big moments as well. And we kicked off on Thursday Night Football on a Friday with the Packers beating the Commanders 27-18. They look very good. Myles Garrett, obviously, joined that defense. They look even better. Jordan Love, just as good.
Micah Parsons.
Sorry, not who did I say?
You said Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett.
Can I just say, you put somehow
Sorry,
the Packers
but
were able to get
he was
Myles
also
Garrett.
also a defensive player who
Yes.
did request to leave. He didn't end up
Yes, he did.
leaving.
That's too
Sorry,
signed a massive
God, I've got a
extension
lot
with
of
the
names
Browns.
mixed up today.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, mate.
Who was the name? I didn't say again.
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Yeah.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Classic
Yeah, I was trying to think of Cowboys. And then the very next game, the Ravens big win over the Browns. Good, 41-17.
Good for me. I'll take it.
Good. The Bengals do get a win over the Jaguars, 31-27, but my beloved Joe Burrow is out for 3 months with turf toe, which sounds fake,
A
but
grade
it's
3 turf toe, yeah.
but it's an actual injury.
One day they'll figure out how to get an offensive line.
Yeah, they will.
But they are in the Steelers division, so maybe they could keep doing that.
Yeah,
be
maybe.
great.
But the Cowboys, clutch win from the kick
OT,
against
baby.
the Giants, 40-37. Jared Goff went ham for the Bears, 52-21. The Lions get the win there. The Dolphins go down to the Patriots, pretty slim, 27-33. Why are you laughing?
Did you say Jared Goff went ham for the Bears, mate?
No, I said for the Lions.
You said for the Bears and then said the Lions after.
No. I said Jared Goff for the Lions against the Bears.
Check the footage.
TMO.
Timo that.
The Saints go down narrowly to 49ers, 21-26. The Jets get smashed by the Bills, 10-13.
Yep.
There was a stat about their quarterback, the guy that you wanted.
Justin Fields.
There was a stat about something it was like a stupid number stat, like he'd thrown more things in. I don't know. The Titans probably going to be picking near the top of the draft again this year. Lose to the Rams 19-33. Little man Kyler Murray still shows. I think he's taller than me, but Kyler Murray shows he's still a very capable quarterback. Beating
Big
the Panthers 27-22. The Colts.
Big one.
Indiana Jones. What do you mean? They're 2-0. And they get to play the bloody Titans next week. So they will be 3-0. And Daniel Jones will have a party. They beat the Broncos 29-28.
Yep.
The Eagles, thank you, beat the Chiefs in a final rematch of of last year's Super Bowl, 20-17.
I do have an Eagle shirt, though.
My beloved Vikings, unfortunately, go down to the Falcons 22-6. Unfortunately, JJ McCarthy's still working through some of those rookie tendencies, but that's fine. And then in one of the games played today, the Texans narrowly go down at home to the Buccaneers 19-20. Baker Mayfield, how good. And then in the last game today, the Raiders played the Chargers, and the Chargers, hot off the press, get a win 20-9.
You know what I also forgot?
What?
You noticed there's a game missing. Have you noticed?
Is the game missing?
My own Steelers.
Oh, you've missed the Steelers!
I missed the Steelers.
Oh, maybe you wanted to on purpose.
The Steelers played the Seahawks.
Yes.
Caleb Johnson, the rookie, I feel so sorry for him, made a rules mistake, which kind of gave the Seahawks some momentum, although it'd really been a back-and-forth game to that point. Anyway, the defense has really held on. The Steelers, unfortunately, lost, though, 31-17 to the Seahawks in Pittsburgh. And next week, the Steelers play somebody, and it's the Patriots, and it's hopefully a win.
That should be a win, but there's only really one big game next week, and it's on Monday Night Football on Tuesday afternoon.
We predicted the Super Bowl would be.
Yeah, so I think this game's going to be awesome. The Ravens take on the Lions, so if you can watch it, I know it's on Tuesday at 12:15, and it's the same time as Monday Night Raw, but hey, do it. I'll try. I'll be working, so who knows if I can watch it.
So you'll definitely be watching it.
Hey, we work in the same industry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, true.
But anyway,
are we going to do the segment?
We are doing the segment.
We are doing the segment.
I know this has been a longer podcast than the last few have.
But no, it's good. We're getting back to the old 2-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Although those, everyone remembers the time where we basically did 2 back-to-back 2-hour podcasts when we did a normal one and then an all-black squad selection one.
True.
And I was literally like going through it.
So we're going to do this, but look, I actually came up with the idea for this segment.
Yep, there's all Dylan's idea.
Pretty much, look, the All Blacks had a shit result, and part of it, like I said before, which I was pretty much ranting about, was the All Blacks need to come back to what their purpose is and why they're All Blacks in the first place.
Yeah.
And with that being said, there's been some fantastic All Blacks over the hundreds of years. The All Blacks have been a thing, and I wanted to do a segment where we named our best all-time All Blacks teams. Now, before we started this, Simon did ask me, do we just pick players that we watched growing up, or do we let it go free? I'm letting it go free because one of those reasons is that back in the days, when I was younger, when I had a video player.
We still have one somewhere.
Yeah, I had a video player. My uncle had recorded every single World Cup game of the 1987 Rugby World Cup.
Wow.
And the 1991 Rugby World Cup.
Just our games or all the games?
All games. Including the England-Scotland semi-final in 1991.
Please tell me he hasn't binned these.
I don't know where they're gone because I kept them and I don't know where my dad's put them.
Hopefully he hasn't thrown them away.
Yeah.
I also have some great, not like self-recorded tapes, but I from the op shop like 10 years ago picked up a like greatest All Blacks matches and a Blues doco from the first season, and one when we went on tour, one from the All Blacks from '96, and also these like you used to go to Warehouse and buy these $5 Rugby World Cup DVDs, and they had all of those moments as well.
Exactly. But anyway, this is open. Like, man, look, there's been, and you've got to respect history. Look, we've had great players hundreds of years. You could literally go to George Napier back in the 1900s.
You could go further, but
yes,
you could pick Dave Gallagher, and I was tempted to pick Dave Gallagher.
Yes.
But, hey, we've got our teams. I did have to look up best players in a certain position to make sure I was actually picking the correct player, but it's for a position.
I will say, I have got one player out of position.
Oh.
I do.
Oh, don't tell me you've got... I think I know what you've done.
We'll see what happens.
I have a feeling you played someone synonymous with a number in a position, but,
we'll see what happens.
I also thought of doing the same thing. So
besides the point,
yep.
All we're going to say is we're not doing this to be controversial.
No.
We are doing this because... personally.
And we didn't have to grow up like watching them live, like you said. We're not doing a bench, right? We're just doing 15.
I would be happy to do a bench, but if you just want to do a 15,
we'll do a 15 and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, sweet. But in saying that, look, what we want to do here, what our ideal is, look, we want to reminisce on some great players the All Blacks have had.
And
that's what we want to
do. And will our teams, if they played together in their primes, play well? Who knows? Probably not. But hey.
But all we're saying is, let's reminisce on some great All Blacks players because, man, do we need that right now. And we're going to start off front row.
Okay, so you're going to go and I'm going to go?
Oh, that works for me.
Because this was the position where I was one of these positions. Like, ooh, who am I picking?
Well, loose head prop for me.
Yes.
I have never, ever cheered so hard for this guy that scored a try.
Yeah.
In the 2011 Rugby World Cup final on a fantastic line-out move. I haven't seen anything better since, and that is Mr. Tony Woodcock.
As a very, very...
He's my loose head prop.
Very good choice there.
There we go.
Are we doing one by one? Or?
We'll go one by one.
Oh, well, I've also got Tony Woodcock.
There you go.
Have to have him, that memory of him scoring in 2011. And I think genuinely one of the best, the best loose head prop we've ever had.
Honestly, he held down the loose head prop position. You could argue for 10 years.
Yeah, or very close to 10
years. Do you want to go tight head prop first or hooker?
We'll go tight head prop.
Let's go, because I've got my tight head prop.
You got your tight head prop?
I do. Now, I'm not sure he actually played tight head prop.
Yeah.
But I know he was a prop and he was a stud.
Right.
I'm going to the 90s.
You're going in the 90s?
I'm going to the 90s. And I'm going to a man synonymous in New Zealand with the prop position. And I don't think gets enough credit. I'm pretty sure he's 90s. Yeah. And that is Mr. Olo Brown.
Wow.
Yes.
I think you'd find he is a loose head, but...
Yeah, he is. No, he is a loose head. You are right.
Yeah.
But look, we've had.
No, I think he is a tight head.
Yeah.
Google AI, fix your shit. Because I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't fucking say on Wikipedia.
Well, he's a prop though, isn't it?
He's a prop.
But he was
he's a tight head.
Yeah, he was.
Olo Brown is a tight head.
He was excellent prop back in the 90s. Part of those 90s dynasty teams that didn't win World Cups.
Yeah.
But he was an underrated part of those teams. Olo Brown's my tight head prop.
Well, I have gone with someone who played just after Olo Brown.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on your bench. I've got Carl Hammond.
Yes, great player.
I think he was someone that...
It is really sad to kind of see...
What happened?
What happened to him now?
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
Awesome,
but I think he'd be there. But you might hear Olo Brown's name said again later on.
Ooh, there we go.
And then
bench baby. Hooker for me, it's an obvious, but For you, it may not be.
I don't know. There's a couple of options here.
Here you go. Well, I've got an obvious for me.
Yeah.
Because I think the couple of options you have don't happen without this guy playing the way that he played at hooker.
Well, I know who it is. Yeah.
And that is another one in the 90s, before my time.
Yeah.
But he was a captain.
Yep.
And that is Mr. Sean Fitzpatrick.
I've also got Fitzy.
Yep.
I've also got Sean Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
There's another Auckland guy who will be on my bench who I was tempted to pick, but it's Sean for me. So, well, for me, I've got Woodcock, I've got Fitzpatrick, and I've got Heyman.
And I've got Woodcock, Fitzpatrick, and Olo Brown. But Sean Fitzpatrick, what a player, bro.
Yeah.
You wonder why Dane Coles is a thing? Started with Sean Fitzpatrick. Sean Fitzpatrick was that first hooker that, yes, could do all the hooker things, but man, he had skills outside of that.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He was awesome. Wish he won a World Cup, man.
Fitzpatrick, he did.
Did he?
He won 87.
Oh, very good. Very good point. Very good point. He played for ages too.
Yeah.
He played for ages. Great player. Great player.
Locks.
And was a wind-up too.
Yeah. We've got a lot of option hits here for locks. I was just thinking of it right now. I'm like, shit, we actually do have quite a few options here.
We do have a lot.
So I'll let you go first.
So...
Because I've got two names I'm very happy to name, but I want you to go first.
So I've got asked this question today. He was like, because I was talking about doing this, and my guy Ben, who gave us the last week the Julian Savia Pepsi can.
Shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben. He's like, surely you have Whitelock and Retallick there, right? Wrong.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I have one of them.
And
I had to choose between one of them. I have Sam Whitelock.
Yep.
I think he's the most capped All Black of all time.
Makes a lot of sense.
Literally, in his last World Cup, made probably one of the most clutchest plays in All Black history after 30-some phases, getting the steal in a ruck. You know, like he was just elite. Since he came in 2010, elite. Sam Whitelock is there. And my other one, I believe they nicknamed him the Carmo Kid. I went with Ian Jones.
Oh, that's literally who I'm literally typing in 90s All Blacks lock.
Yes.
I was trying to remember Ian Jones' name.
And we've had some great locks, man. You go Ian Jones, Gary Wetton as well.
Robin Brooke,
fantastic. Brody Retallick,
obviously
like
Brody. You could even name Ali Williams and Brad Fawn.
Absolutely.
I think if Fawn played his whole career, a bit of a slip there.
Yes, clip it.
No, if Fawn played his entire career in Union,
absolutely.
I think he'd be there. But
it's Ian Jones and Sam Whitelock starting for me.
So I'd like to be different from you.
Yes.
And I was thinking of Ian Jones as an option.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Sam Whitelock.
Absolutely.
Colin Meads.
Great player. Pine Tree, baby.
I think it
one of the greatest All Blacks of all time.
I think it has to be Colin Meads, you know, the guy from King Country. You know, he's still revered down there, a legend of the game.
He's
Pine
a legend
Tree.
of the game.
And there's a lot of other players from that era I heavily consider.
I mean, you're talking 60s, 70s,
late 50s even.
Late 50s. I mean, there's some names there. Waka Nathan, you know Waka Nathan?
Yeah.
He was a flanker back then. Freaking awesome player.
A lot of guys from that.
From that era, man. Awesome. Don't forget it. Like I said, learn history.
There's one fullback I'm trying to remember the name of, but I forgot what his name was. The boot. Don something.
Don Clark.
Don Clark.
Don Clark was a 10.
He's a 15 as well.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was on New Zealand on screen.
Yeah, great website. They've got the old thing about him playing, I think, against the Lions, and he was kicking so well that the Kiwi crowd was chanting red.
Yes.
Because they were sick of him kicking so well.
Bro, you go back and look at Don Clark footage. The boot is insane.
We need him right now, unfortunately.
Big facts.
I know he died 23 years ago.
Big facts.
Funny enough,
Don Clark was a dude.
Not funnily enough, he actually moved to South Africa after
he
retired.
Did. Yeah.
To farm there, I think, which is very interesting. You don't hear a lot of people moving from
New Zealand to South Africa. Yeah,
but it does happen. Although this was, I think, back in the 70s. So
yeah, fair enough.
Who knows? But yeah, for me, Sam Whitelock. I think between him and Brody, it's slightly long longevity. If I think Brody was more dynamic.
Although Brody Retallick did win World Rugby Player of the Year.
He did
in 2014.
Did win a World Cup, but obviously Sam Whitelock back-to-back World Cups.
Yeah.
Was a starter in 2011.
Yeah, pretty sure he was. No, he'd been there for a year, eh?
Yeah,
I think he started over Ali Williams, didn't he?
Was he?
He may have.
I don't know. But he was definitely in the final.
Yep.
But I think the next position's very intriguing because you have loose forwards and you have a lot of players you can pick here.
So guess what? This is where I've moved a guy out of position.
Okay, so I think we've got the same idea.
Yeah.
I think we've got the exact same idea.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think you have.
Well, who do you have at 6?
Because guess what? The guy I've moved out of position, you've already named.
Colin Meads.
There you go.
You've got Colin at 6.
I put Colin Meads at 6, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When you look at footage of him playing as a lock back in the days,
Yes.
I think he really, really plays a lot like a blindside flanker would now.
Yeah.
And he's a legend. He's got to be put there. If you're a lock, even like it played different game back then, but if you're a lock, scoring as many tries as he did, running as much as he did, you're the man. Like, you're a legend. So, like, being able to do that and still do your job is insane. So, I moved him to blindside flanker because I think in the modern game, I think he could actually be a very good blindside flanker. And he was a big guy too.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to put him there. But, man, you go through some 6s. I had Jerry Collins.
Oh, yeah.
GOAT.
You've got Jerry. You've
Jerome
got
Kaino.
Kaino. You have... Who would have played at 6 back in the day?
Back in the day. Who would have played 6 in the 90s? Because I know Josh Kronfeld at 7, who's going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, but
what's his face? Captained Tane Randall.
oh yes,
Randall
absolutely,
played 6.
absolutely.
I don't know if he makes
So-
this list. He was very unfortunate. He got thrown into captaincy when he did.
Yeah, true.
But shout out to him.
Yeah. But
Heaps of options.
I have to have Colin Meads on the team. He's too much of a legend.
Guy-
That's where I'm going to put him.
You've brought up Kano and Kano. I'm like, fuck, I'd love to have him, but I'm naming someone out of position here. Although
Let's
he
go.
did play at 6.
Let's go.
And I'm naming the one and the only, a legend in my eyes.
Yes.
Michael Jones.
Yep. Fair.
Michael
Fair.
Jones at the 6.
Fair,
I think you
yes.
have to. I know he was best at open side, the
Yeah.
man who famously didn't play on Sundays.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Michael Jones is the unlucky one of my back row to miss out.
yeah.
I had to put Meads there, man. I had to have him on my team.
Yeah, I think
But
you
Michael
have to.
Jones, if bar injuries, man,
Would have been awesome.
Sick.
And I think we can both comfortably assume we've both picked the same open side flanker. One say it on 3.
Yep.
3.
Do you say it on 3 and
Yeah.
then said 3?
Okay. It's late. I haven't eaten. Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Richie McCaw.
Yeah, there we go. Mate.
Done.
Now, here's the thing. My stoic traditionalist dad has said on multiple occasions he would take Josh Kronfeld over Richie McCaw.
I don't think that is a crazy choice.
I don't think that's a crazy
People could say, I'll take Michael Jones over Richie McCaw. I'd be like,
True.
yeah, sure.
True.
Go ahead.
But Richie McCaw's a goat.
Yeah,
I'm
he is.
saying it.
I think he is. I don't think we really need to say much more.
No.
2 World captain, 2 World Cups. Won the first one on a broken foot.
Yep. I will say this. Josh Kronfeld is your favourite flanker's favourite flanker.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I describe
He's
him.
revolutionary.
Yeah, man.
Also, I'm pretty sure there's a photo of him somewhere back when the All Blacks toured France back in the 90s of
Yeah.
him wearing a shirt of a nuke saying "Do it in Paris."
Yes, yeah.
So I respect that as well.
My
'Cause,
goat.
yeah, he'd probably get thrown in jail for that these days.
Now, number 8.
Is a very tricky position.
I think there's 2 players here.
I think there's more than 2. I think it's
I
way
think-
more than 2.
We've had a lot of great number 8s. I've got 2 here
Yeah.
that I'm going between options. I've gone with my option. Would you like me to go first?
Go first.
All right. I'm going with the guy, once again, that revolutionized the position.
Yep.
And that is Mr. Zinzan Brook.
Yeah.
I went with Zinzan Brook.
Zinzan is a great player.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like you're talking about a number 8 that Hoskins Tutu wish he was.
Yeah. I mean, he was nailing 50-meter drop kicks in the World
That's
Cup.
what I'm saying.
And I forgot about that until you brought him up. Like, he's...
Like you're talking about the guy that did his job at number 8, had the mentality, but could pass like a 10.
Fuck, I have to pick
Sorry,
him now,
could kick,
don't I?
So could kick like a 10 and pass like a 9. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think I might have to pick him, but let me just roll off the other options.
Go
here.
for it.
Kieran Reid.
Yes, that was my second option.
2 World Cups. Just before Zinzan, Buck Shelford.
Yes. One ball buck.
One ball Buck.
Crazy story. Go search that up.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you.
we're
Go
not going to
search that
repeat it
up.
here. But even before Wayne Shelford, you got Murray Mixted.
Yes.
Who you have to consider.
Yes.
He is.
You could also argue, I think he played number 8, but he might have been a flanker.
You've got Brian Lahore.
There you go. Thank you.
He's also an 8.
Who coached the 1987
He did.
World Cup team.
There's so many players there, but when you talk about someone who just revolutionized the game, I
Zinzan.
think I have to put Zinzan there.
Yep.
Michael.
Who did you have
Richie.
originally?
I was going to pick Wayne Shelford, but
Fair enough.
over Kieran Reid as well. But I think I have to pick Zinzan.
Yeah.
I think Wayne, Kieran, Murray, and
Yeah.
Brian are very unlucky to miss out
you have
because
so
that's a
many options there.
stacked position. Although Brian Lahore also played lock, so
True. Crazy.
crazy,
When you think about it. But
very
yeah.
crazy. But the next position of scrum half, I also think we've named the same player here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I think. Are we talking about?
on free,
Are we going to go 3?
on free.
Let me name a different one. No, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Aaron Smith. Yeah, man.
Easy. I don't
Yeah,
think we
man.
need to say much more. Won a World Cup. Probably could have won multiple.
Yeah,
Sensational on this day. Yeah, I think there's not much more.
Did he not win 2011 and 15?
No, he made his debut 2012
No, you're
against
absolutely
Ireland.
right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
He just missed out. 9 options of that World Cup were Pity
Yeah.
Wepu and not Jimmy Cowan, the other one.
So Pity,
And Andy
Ellis.
Andy
Pity
Ellis.
Wepu, for me personally, would be the backup.
You've got Pity as his backup.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people will probably go Justin Marshall.
Yeah, I'd Marshy.
I think Marshy for me,
But I've
was-
got one person behind that, even though he didn't play for
yeah,
long.
Marshy for me was still slightly overrated.
I'd considering David Kirkby,
Yes.
even though he didn't play for long.
I
But
did too.
also Sid Going, massive shout out there as well. And
Oh, you know what? I might have Sid going. You know,
you might have Sid Going.
I might have Sid going. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70s, mate.
But also, I think there's a very, very big case you can make genuinely for TJ Perenara as well.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
been stuck behind Aaron Smith.
Yep.
But that's the 9s. The 10s, this is where I thought you were going to name someone and name someone else out of
No,
position.
hell no.
But I think we've named the same 10 here.
1,
2,
2, 3. Dan Carter. Yeah,
Easy.
come on, mate. DC, mate.
I mean, but
The
let's
best
not,
10 of all
but
time.
let's not forget Andrew Mertens, Carlos Spencer,
Yes.
Bowden Barrett,
Yes.
Grant Fox,
Yes.
Alan Hewson,
Yes.
everyone else who's played that 10 position.
Don Clark.
Don Clark.
There you
there's a
go.
bug there.
Oh, fair enough. Hey, but get out of here.
Jesus
There you go,
Christ,
mate.
mate.
There you go.
And I mean, all the other players.
Man, they got some names there, but Dan Carter's the best of
I
them
think
all,
we
man.
have to. Dan Carter's.
Dan Carter and Aaron Smith together, like I said before, we really need a combination like that right now.
Oh, we do. But beggars can't be
man,
choosers, so.
if big facts. But yeah, Dan Carter, sick.
But now this is where it gets tough because there's so many players we can choose from
So
here.
are you going to go centres first, or are you going to go wingers?
Let's go centres. Let's make
right.
it more difficult for ourselves here.
I have my centres, and there's some names at centre.
Yeah, I'm.
But
oh.
and look, I'll say mine first. Look, I think one of these guys, as you know, I've said this before, slightly overrated.
Yep.
But because of what they did together,
Also, you are naming them.
yep, because of what they did together, I have to pick them. Martin Onu, Conrad Smith.
Wow, I'm very shocked you did that.
And Conrad Smith, I would say, and we've had a lot of great centres, man. You can go back 1987, Warwick Taylor and Joe Stanley, who were
Yep.
pretty much the Martin Onu and Conrad Smith of that time. Man, I'm trying to think of some other centres too. I'd love, I mean, come on, give me some centre names, man.
I
'cause there's
mean,
been some
Frank
amazing-
Bunce,
Frank
Tana
Bunce,
Umaga.
yes, Tana Umaga, yes.
Um,
Tana Umaga,
yeah, like you mentioned, Joe Stanley and
Yeah.
a bunch of other players.
yep.
There's a lot. There's a lot of possible
There's
centres
somebody
here.
that would dumbass put Sonny Bill Williams in that conversation.
I think he's probably not that low, honestly.
No, it's probably not.
He won 2 World Cups.
True.
He was stuck behind both Nono and Smith.
Yeah.
He was a a bit of a generational talent.
Yeah.
So
But for what they did together, yeah, I'm going Martin Onu and Conrad Smith.
yeah, this is a tough one. Because I'd like to fit in like a Tana Umaga in
Yeah.
here, or but I think genuinely you have to say Nonu, Conrad Smith. But
Yeah,
there's
man.
a lot of players who come very close.
Yep.
You could name out of position wingers and fullbacks here as well.
True
but
that.
nah, it has to be
Yeah.
those guys. But if you move on to your back three, where
your wingers.
there's a lot of potential players here.
I won't lie. Come on.
Well, left
I'm
wing,
counting 1, 2, 3. Yep,
Yeah.
for this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Jonah
Jonah
Lomu.
Lomu. Yep.
John Olomu,
absolutely.
easy peasy,
The goat.
lemon squeezy. And do I want to name first? I can name first.
I can't lie. I'm stuck for this other winger.
For right wing, yeah.
I'm stuck. I can't lie. I think I might. You know what?
I want to pick an actual right winger, not just a left winger.
Same here. I think. I think
Because
I've got,
I'm genuinely tempted to say Julian Savia, but
yeah.
which
I wouldn't have Julian.
I know
Savia
it was a bit of a
anywhere near
push.
That high.
I don't think it'll be Dougie. I don't think
Dougie's a shout though.
he's a shout. I don't think it'll be Dougie. I don't think
think
it'll be
I've-
Jeff Wilson, but he's so good as well.
I
Oh no, I've got my 14.
yeah, I know who my 14
I've got
is
him.
now
I've
too.
got him.
Have you got him?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Please tell me it's the same.
John Kerwin.
There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
John Kerwin, man.
I've got JK and
You seen that try against Italy in the first game of the
that's what
1987
I was
World
like,
Cup?
who started on the road at 87? Oh yeah, fuck Kerwin.
John
oh,
Kerwin.
Yeah.
And actually, if I'm not mistaken, who was the starter on the left side? Terry Wright?
Yeah.
If I'm going to look back at this, I'm pretty sure Terry Wright, former Northcote College student.
Wow.
Shout out to my
claim to fame.
my old school.
But
we also had Kevin Locke. But there you go.
But fullback.
I'm going to double check this.
But fullback, for me, I can go here.
I've got mine too.
Yeah.
There's a debate here though.
There's a massive debate here for fullback, but this is a guy that I wish I got.
Boom! I was right.
You're
Northcote
right.
College. Shout out the coat, man. Let's go.
This is a guy I wish I got to see play as a kid.
Yes.
And he should have, but he kind of got shafted.
Yes.
Mentioned him earlier in the podcast.
Yes.
Christian Cullen's my fullback.
Thank you. Same here. My friend,
Yeah.
Mr. Ben, said that his guarantees in the team were Richie McCaw,
Yep.
Dan Carter.
Yep.
He had one other one, but his other guarantee he had Ben Smith.
Yeah, I do feel bad. I think
Ben Smith.
Ben
Smith.
We'll get to Ben in a second.
Ben
because,
Smith is the best high wall player I've ever seen.
Because we have to name our bench. And I'll quickly name, my starting 15, Tony Woodcock, Sean Fitzpatrick, Carl Heyman.
Yep.
I had I had Sam Whitelock
and
with
Colin
Meads. I had Michael Jones at the 6, Richie McCaw at 7, and Sinzambrook at 8. I had the Aaron Smith, Dan Carter halves partnership.
Yeah.
I had the centre partnership of Matanonu and Conrad Smith. I had the wing partnership of John Olomu and John Kerwin. Same as you. And
There you
Christian
go.
Cullen had the exact same backline. But
There you
my
go.
bench is going to start off with the backup hooker
Yes.
could be a couple of players here.
Yeah, there is a
It
couple
could
of
be
players here.
Anton Oliver. It could
Could.
be Kevin Mialamu. It
could.
could be Dan Coles.
It could be.
But I'm going to go with Kevin Mialamu.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Mialamu. Evan, the props.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking very hard right now. I think you have...
Well, first of all, who's the prop that I named tight head, Matt?
Well, Olo Brown.
There you go.
I'm getting there.
Surely
I'd have
he's there.
Well, I want to name the tight head first in order. Like a
Like the loose head first, yeah.
the loose head first.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
I'm going to say Owen Franks.
Good on.
Owen Franks.
I'm gonna throw.
Or maybe Craig Dowd. I'm not sure. And then,
Craig Dowd's a good shout.
And then Olo Brown as
Yep.
my other prop. Who's your backups in the front row?
In the front row, hooker. I can't lie. Who's your hooker again?
Kevin Mialamu.
See, Kevin Mialamu's a funny one because I feel like Kevin Mialamu, for a lot of his career, I feel like I saw him on the bench a lot.
Yeah, maybe towards the end, but he
Yeah, towards
definitely
the end,
started in
but
2011, and
yeah.
he was just stuck behind Anton Oliver.
Yes. So I'm going to go Kevin Mialamu as well. I loved him. Always loved him as a player. Also, is Kevin Mialamu the reason that Brian O'Driscoll was injured in that 2005 Lions tour?
I thought it was Umanga.
Was it?
It was Tana, wasn't it?
It was somebody, but
centre or
Lions
centre.
probably still worried.
It was Tana. I'm pretty sure it was Tana.
Anyway, besides the point. Then you've got backup props. Tight head, I'm going to go Carl Heyman.
Yep.
Number one, I'm going to throw a name out here.
Ooh.
He's a former All Blacks captain as well. And he is a Sir.
Ooh.
His name is Sir Wilson Winneray.
Yeah, Sir Wilson Winneray.
I'm going to throw him out there. That's a
if I remembered him, I probably
throwback.
would have picked them.
Yeah, that's a throwback. But can I just say, Craig Dowd, great shout.
Yeah.
Love the way he played.
My backup lock and
Became
loose.
an agent too, if I'm wrong.
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
My backup lock and loose forward. I'm going to have Brody as the lock.
Yep.
And there's so many options here at the Loosies.
There are
I can just pick the best of the bunch, or I can pick someone who could probably play all of them.
Yes.
And I'm kind of struggling to figure that out right now.
Yep. So did I. I think I've got who I've got there.
But I am going to go with... Tension is real right now because there's a lot of players.
Especially because we've been going for time.
We've been going for time.
This will be our longest podcast, and it's not even close.
Well, in a while, we've gone over 2 hours before.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fuck, who?
But it's for good reason, because we need to sort this all black shit out.
Who are we going to pick? We are going to make a decision right now, and that player goes by the name of... Has to be Buck Shelford. Bring
Yeah,
back Buck.
man.
Bring back
Yeah,
Buck.
man.
I'd love to name Josh Cronfield. I'd love to name
Yeah.
Kieran Reid. I'd love to name
Yeah.
Brian Lahore. I'd love to name Murray Mixted. I'd love to name Jerry Collins. But I'm going to go with Buck Shelford.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So for lock, I agree with you. I'm going Brody Retallick.
Yep.
And since I named Pine Tree Meads, Colin Meads, at my blind side, I've got an option here at loose forward.
Yeah, I have quite a lot.
So I like you, Buck Shelford. And I actually forgot about Buck Shelford until I was watching his one ball story last night. Go search it up. Look, I loved him as a player.
Yeah.
He played 6 and 8, if you remember, as well. He's going to be my guy off the bench. It's going to be Jerry Collins.
Yeah, that's a
People
fair
forget Jerry Collins played 8-2 to start his career and then moved to 6 and was a gun.
Yeah.
And R.I.P. man.
Yeah,
Jerry
but
Collins.
rest in peace to all the players who passed on our teams.
Jerry Collins was
Yeah.
I loved him as a player when I was younger. Jerry Collins was awesome.
And then
I'm
the
going
backs.
Jerry Collins.
The backs,
so
the
you're
backs.
going half
back,
back, and then I
fly
would
half,
say fly half,
and then-
fullback, centre.
and-
Yep.
or
Sweet,
just
we got it.
or the back.
Yep.
So I'm going Sid Going.
Yes.
A lot of options here. I'm going to go Carlos Spencer. Personal preference.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
And then I'm going to name the man himself, Ben Smith at 23.
There you go.
The
So
ultimate versatility man.
there you go.
So
Agreed.
yeah, Sid Going, Carlos Spencer,
Yep.
Ben Smith.
I'm going to go Sid Going.
Yep.
I'm going to go Ben Smith. My other one.
Could be a lot of options here.
There's a lot of options here.
Although my
A
other
lot of
10,
options.
I'd love to put Bone in here, but I think it's probably a couple of players above him.
Yep, I agree. I am going to put. Ooh, you know what? Shout out. I'm going Grant Fox.
Yeah.
I'm going Grant Fox. That guy was mean.
I mean, I could have named David Kirk on the bench as well.
Yes.
I would have loved to, but
Sid Going was in the 70s, bro. Was
Yeah.
the man.
I think he
though.
was the man. But yeah, it's got to be
Sid Going. We're
Sid
going with
Going.
Sid Going.
Evan, I'm just going to have my honourable mention, just because I didn't find the players in the team. Honourable mention to George Napier, because
Big man.
one of the
yes.
one of the first big names of rugby back in the 20s. Played for a very long time as well.
Played rugby league as well.
Yep, part of that Invincibles
Invincibles
tour,
team.
24 to 25,
Yep.
where we won every single game.
Yep.
Out of like 50 overseas.
Yep.
Crazy stat. But yeah, that's my team.
And a big thing with George Napier as well, and me being Māori as well. George Napier was Māori. I think George Napier was one of the big reasons why this country, in terms of sport, is let's call it what it is, integrated.
Yeah.
And not segregated.
I mean, I think
big reason.
there always were. I think even before George Napier, there were players of Māori descent. But I think he was one of the first true, more.
And he was the best man.
He was an absolute gun. He played.
Yeah.
He started playing rugby so young and then
I
played
love
it
that.
till he's so old.
I
But
love
yeah,
that, man.
honourable mention George Napier. But that is time.
Yes, it
for
is.
another
This has
episode
been
of
going
CouchSide
for a
Report
while.
At the Ripple time at 8:08 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Tough.
But this will be out when you're listening to it. I've been Simon Cooper. That has been Dylan Courtney.
Yes, sir.
At the Couchside Studio.
AKA the crib.
In an undescript location.
Undescript location.
Somewhere in Auckland. But Dylan and I will be back next week on
There.
time on Monday, I believe.
And we will be talking about, hopefully, not as much of the sad All Black stuff.
Well, there won't be All Blacks to talk about
there
next
will be.
week.
Yep.
There will be NRL to talk about.
There'll be NFL.
There will be Aussie NBL. We're probably coming close to NBA season soon as well.
Yes, we are.
because
Yeah.
that'll be a lot.
NBA season, they'll start their preseason very soon, and then hopefully start late October, November.
NHL is also in its preseason, and we'll talk about the MLB playoffs when they happen.
And we'll also be talking about WrestlePalooza.
We will be.
Yes, sir. Which happening this weekend.
AEW All Out this weekend as well.
Yes, sir.
That should be great. And also college football, we'll get back into it.
There we
We've dropped
go.
it off this week, but it will be back.
Before we go, as I'm pointing at the laptop that you can see down here instead of the camera, as I say,
Follow us.
Follow us, CouchSide.network on the TikTok and the Instagram, and also subscribe on here if you're watching and like what you see. Follow us on Spotify if you like what you see and what you hear. All Blacks, figure it out. I know you guys will. Let's go get it back. Setback is a setup for a comeback.
Exactly.
As we always say, Simon, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're
Dylan.
gonna do the high five first.
Well.
And then we're going to go couch side out.
Couch side out.